Welcome to When Hustlers Talk. Today is our first episode, and in the studio we have a hustler of all hustlers for our first show, Mr. Jared Cocanougher.
Happy to come aboard.
Hey man, I appreciate you coming down, talking to us little people, and my co-host here, Chase, old Chisel.
Hey.
And Chase, a little camera shy. I'll get that out of him.
So am I, bud.
You won't be able to get it out. You won't be able to get rid of them here in about 15, 20 minutes. So we're good. Just starts off. Jared Cocanougher owns two of our our show sponsors, and Race Proven Performance and C6 Land Clearing. So he also does C6 Farms, but they didn't need no sponsor, and they've been around longer than Jared.
I don't make you money.
No, man. So what's going on, Jared? First time I met you, when was it? That's been probably 2012,
Probably so.
Something
Yep,
like that.
That's when I had the black C6.
Yep.
And,
Clay City
Yep.
with a mutual friend there,
Yes,
old
sir.
Eric Lancaster,
Eric Lancaster.
EC. I remember we was getting ready to come up to Clay City and race that night. We loaded that vet up, and big enclosed trailer. It had like 2 inches on each side. I was scared to death. It wasn't even my car. I was like, golly, it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
And well, it did. Eric, he's crazy, man. He pulled it right in there.
Piloted her right in there. Huh?
Oh yeah, climbed out there. I don't even know how he got out.
Yeah.
But
He's
yeah,
funny.
Eric, he sees like he talks slow and drives fast. He's like, he was telling me he's like, we're gonna go up here and see my buddy there at the racetrack. He's Jared Cocanougher.
Oh, he's funny.
He's a sight of ways he is. But the fast car, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The quick one about him, it cracks him up. He said, so he's always talking about shifting, how fast you can shift or whatever. And he said,
Yeah.
man, do you power shift that car? And I said, well, yeah, And he says, oh, okay. Well, next day he called me probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And he says, man, I just pulled out of McDonald's. And he said, I just let that thing eat. And he said, I power shift first through third, pulling out of McDonald's. He said, I can't stop doing it now.
I believe it.
Next time he went to the track, he was really rowing them,
Oh yeah,
It was funny. He's a driver.
he is, man. He scared me. That's the fastest I've ever been on land and water has been with Eric. Over 200 mile an hour in that car. I went with EC, and then
How fast on the water?
we was over 100. And let me tell you, I was not prepared with that. Before that, it was it had seats in that boat, man. They was like they had shoulder restraints.
Yeah.
And in the bottom, you had like a little armrest right there, and on the bottom of the armrest, they had a little motorized thing that goes up and down where it puts your little butt thing up, and then you can motor it down, and then you're standing up, but it's got like a platform thing for your feet. So I was like, this thing's like real serious too. So it's like, I bet this is seriously fast. So we was on Lake Cumberland actually, and he said, "Well, go down here." He went and picked it up over here, Lake Cumberland Marine, or somebody was doing some work on it. But anyway, he said, "Let's run it down there to Lake Cumberland, make sure they fixed everything good." And he said, "Well, I'm gonna run it down to Jamestown, and we'll dock it there." And I guess he had a place at the marina. Anyway, I was sitting there and I had the butt thing out because I was trying to be comfortable, and I was like sitting there, and he's like, "You might want to put that bottom down and put your feet in there." I was like, "All right," so I
Here we
did.
go.
So we took off, and it was like gone. I was like, cheeks flapping, I was about my eyes like a frog in a hailstorm, son. I tell you, I was like, God.
I've never been that fast on a boat, but I bet it's fun.
Oh, it scared me to death. I thought, well, we're dead. But no, I lived right through it.
Lived right through.
Yeah, because he don't have a good track record with boats or cars, so I feel like I'm the luckiest man alive. No, yeah, that was awesome, man. That OEC, that's been a long time.
Yeah.
So I've known you about 12 years, and I lost contact with you for a while there, but we got back into this. So I got into that powder coating game and all that good stuff.
Eric said he's a man, and you have been.
Well, I thank you. Shoot. So what's your story, man? What'd you do? Was like growing up, you say, man, I'm just gonna be a hustler. I'm gonna open 2 or 3 businesses up. I'm gonna work like a striped mule.
The best I can remember, my first words were dad and tractor, which really made mom mad. I don't know which way they went, but I'm pretty sure it was dad and tractor. And then, like my first sentence was, want to ride blue Ford tractor. I was like, dad had a Ford tractor, and that was anything with wheels. I like semi trucks. I like tractors. I like cars, but I was like, little kids love equipment, trucks, and but I was all about it, you know. And then grew up, and we always lived on a farm. Grew up on about 75 acres. Parents didn't have a ton of money, but now I'm super thankful for that. Like I learned what money means. Like, and we always had food. We always had everything we wanted, but we put in a lot of hard work. And I think everybody needs that, man. I think that's the backbone of this country is hard work. And nowadays we got stuff that makes you feel lazy. Air conditioned tractors, and we got stuff that makes race cars even almost cheating, and like it's just the world's changed.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, it's good.
It's good and
bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but as long as you got that essential work ethic of when you're young, I think if you learn that, I think it keeps with you.
Yeah.
I think you build from that and you keep going.
100%. I think really, to be honest with you, I wish kids nowadays, young bucks could experience some hardships.
Yeah.
To get to the good stuff, like we've had to do.
100%.
Yeah. And it makes you stronger. It builds character.
You ever heard that saying? It's always darkest before the storm.
Yep.
Before it's bright. Rather.
Yeah.
So that's I think it's true.
It is.
You got to push through the hard times to.
Holds a lot of truth.
Yeah.
So I got Chase when a 12, 14-year-old, I guess, when they got Chase as a stepson. He's been a good son.
How old is Chase?
Oh, I'm 26.
26.
Well, turned 26.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks.
Yeah, you get ready to have birthday a couple weeks there.
Cool.
Oh, cheers.
Got the first little one on the way, too. Come
Awesome.
January.
Boy?
Boy.
How'd you do that?
Hey, son. I coached him. No, he's going to name him after me. My middle name's Russell, so he
cool.
named him Russell.
Awesome.
That was pretty cool. I guess he figures he put up with a lot of rough stuff from me, so he can pass some of that roughness on
First
me.
one. Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be rough for the first little bit, but every kid's different though. I mean, we've had 4, but like some of them are more trouble up front, and then some of them are great sleepers through the night, and you just never know. It's like playing the lottery. You never know which one they're gonna be.
I'll send them out your way. Let them run the tractor for you.
Yeah, do it.
Well, see, that's a good thing. You got your girls; they help around the farm and whatnot.
Yeah,
they old enough to do that yet?
Yeah, Kaylee, she's learning, man. She is the cattle whisperer. She is like anything to do with animals, dogs, cats, cows. I mean, anything. Yeah. She has a way with it. It's wild.
Is that the one I saw the other day that was wanting a puppy and you finally gave
No,
it?
that's the middle one, Briley. Kaylee's the oldest. And Briley likes animals, but she doesn't fully understand the responsibility of animals yet.
Yeah.
Kaylee gets up. She's older, so there's that. But she's older and she gets up. She takes care of them. She knows there's responsibilities and she understands that. And sometimes we got to get after her, like, hey, you're slacking here.
Yeah.
This is why you have this. And she understands and goes. Briley's a couple years younger, so she's still got some. She's learning.
Yeah.
She's got a good role model.
Them girls will be running 6 farms before long. I mean, it'll be like wide up. You'll have one of them that's probably going to be like a little bit prissy, but she's going to run the front end probably of the race
or
program.
something eventually.
Yeah, she'll be like at the shop.
Yeah.
Your merchandising's going to go through the roof. You know?
Yeah.
You'll have the bedazzled stuff. All the girls on the Instagram be wearing race proof performance.
Absolutely.
They're like, we got Briley's line on.
Could only hope.
That's right.
I love the race car stuff, and I love the shop and stuff. I just, when Kaylee got old enough to care about cows and care about, she wants to do that stuff, and I look back and I'm like, man, that stuff taught me a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so it made me want to put everything on pause and do what she wants to do and what the family wants to do, and kind of at least put in several good years, hopefully, but at least put in a few good years of letting them learn how to fix fence and do this and feed animals and do that. And help me move equipment, hook equipment up,
Yep.
So
that's awesome, man. That's the way to do it. Get in there and make them do it.
I think it's good for all young kids.
Builds character. Yeah.
Smash.
At least that's what my old man told me growing up. Like, why don't we get a riding mower, Tony? That lawnmower, that 2-stroke lawnmower with a 18-inch deck on it. Just acre and a half here. Builds character.
That's all it is, acre and a half.
Acre. It's just an acre and a half.
It's a push mower.
And then he didn't want to have to fool with buying gas and mixing gas for the lawnmower too, or the weed eater too. So I had an electric one with a cord. Yeah, the weed eater. So here I am
With the cord. Did you ever cut the cord in two?
I wished. I wish I could cut it in two and not get in trouble, but I wasn't brave enough. One thing I did do one time though, and I'll get off this subject, but I was supposed to weed eat, and it's a fence line. It was a daggone chain link fence, and I was like, I don't want to weed eat. I hate it. And I always have to put string in it like 5 times when I weed eat that fence line.
Oh yeah.
Stupid chain link. So I was like, I'm going to take that 5-gallon jug of gas and I'm going to pour it right along that fence line right there. I poured about 4.5 gallons in the first 3 feet. And it didn't work out real good. So, yeah.
It's a good thought.
I couldn't lie to him. He's a state trooper, so he's like a
really?
living, walking
That's cool.
lie detector. So I lied to him one time when I was little, and I never did that again.
Did he whoop your butt?
Oh, yeah.
That's something else kids need more of these
Hey,
days.
buddy, I've had a few.
Yeah.
Made me tough.
Absolutely.
But,
Didn't hurt you a bit now, did it?
No, Lord, no. It wasn't nothing out of hand either. It was just a good whooping.
Just enough to hurt your feelings, and that's what you need.
Exactly. So, we're getting back to the farming, and Dad, you want to be like Dad and Ford tractor, and, that's... Did you have to do that stuff, like, before you... I don't think you was, like, a chicken farmer or nothing like that, but did you have to do chores before you went to school and all that stuff?
Sometimes, yes, it depends. I mean, we didn't have a big farm, right? We had 75 acres. We had probably 20 cows at any given time. So there might be a cow that we have to watch all through the night, make sure her baby's going to be okay first time, Oh, yeah. And that's the stuff I learned about. Like, first time calf heifers, their first baby, you always got to watch them. That was the biggest thing. And, if we, say if we had a cow that was sick, whatever, might have to get up early for that. But when I was really little, Dad milked, and that's when you got to get up early. That was some work that I, fortunately, I guess, didn't have to put up with. But I remember Mom said I'd go out to the milk barn, hang out with Dad, and he milked a whole bunch of Holsteins. Yeah. And then, of course, all the dairy farming stuff kind of went south. And, and they got out of that deal and got into beef cows, and a little more than a hobby farmer's is what. Right. He made a little money with it, and it was perfect. It was just the right amount to teach you enough. Yeah. But it wasn't too much. He had a full-time job. He drove a truck for a living. Oh, okay. And Mom had a full-time job, so putting cows on top of that was plenty, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, he drove a truck, and sometimes, some jobs he worked, he was gone for a week, but most of the time he was home every day or a couple days. Yeah. So it wasn't terrible.
Was he owner-operator, or he worked
at the time? He done both.
Oh, okay.
He owned his truck for a little while, and he eventually went back and drove the truck for a little while, too.
So your dad was a hustler.
Yeah.
Straight up hustler. He had a side gig as a farm. That's the ultimate side gig. If you're not a farmer or never been around a farm,
it's always something to do.
If there's something to do.
Yeah,
and
always.
Driving a truck.
Yeah.
Especially you said if he's gone a week.
And you know what stinks is I love driving going fast, but I'm the world's worst driving long distances.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm terrible at it. You know what I mean? I'm ready to quit this. I did not get that from Dad.
Oh yeah. No. Well, I got in it myself just a tad. Yeah. Not driving a big truck. I was on the road actually for RC components.
Oh really?
Our major sponsors here at the show, RC. I was the road rep for them guys. 5 or 6 years, I guess, but all over my primary area when I first started was Southeast United States. So I would do pretty much the SEC, like if you watch basketball, football.
Yeah.
And then I branched out to Texas a little bit and then get on over there. And then I ended up going to Colorado. And then next thing you know, I'm doing Ohio, New York State, and all the, but yeah, I was with them, 5, 6 years, I guess I did that. But man, I was in a Cummins diesel truck, which he kept me in a nice truck.
Like a pickup truck?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Just just a crew cab pickup truck and a trailer behind me with a couple baggers and a bunch of exhaust and wheels and stuff. I go around to all the Harley shops all over the United States and just go in and say,
you
"What's
knew
going
Harleys
on?"
well, like I mean.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's that's probably a dream job for you at the time, right?
It was, man. I was.
You get to go talk to people about the things you love. And,
oh yeah. I was a service manager at the Harley shop for years, and then I was and I had my own motorcycle shop before that, so I knew a lot about the motorcycle game, and I built bikes for many, many years on the side, just flip them and whatnot, and personal use and all that good stuff. But anyway, long story short, I'm with you on that driving stuff, because I mean, man, when you leave out of San Antonio, Texas, and you it's okay. You clock out. It's Friday. I'm going home.
What is that? 18 hours?
It's an 18-hour ride, and you know what? I didn't even want to eat. I didn't want to pee. I didn't want to do nothing. I just wanted to get home. So it's like 3 diesel stops later. I'm sitting at the house.
Yeah,
that's
a lot
it.
of driving.
Pee at the pump.
Yeah.
I don't know how that goes to jail. That's how I peed at every pump between here and there. But I was like, if that's long distance, man.
Saves time. That's true hustling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to hustle. But, back then I was hustling too, because I'd drive. I was gone 3 weeks a month. And I would, that week I was home. I mean, Jason tell you, I tried to get him into it too. But, when you're in high school, chasing all the girls around, whatnot, driving them Tahoes uptown. He was like, "Oh, I got to do this, got to do that," And I was a kid too, and if I had a choice, I wouldn't have been nowhere around. So, but yeah, I'd come home and build a motorcycle while I was home.
Yeah,
and I'd list it while I was gone. I mean, not in 1 week, but I eventually I'd have that bike done. I'd list it while I was on the road, and or tell people, that bike would go to, North Carolina, or Atlanta. Or Florida, So it was cool. It was a good gig, but I'm with you, man. I can't. Now, if I drive to your place and back,
P 8 times.
I'm like, yeah, P8 times, stop at the Shell station, whatever. Get me a coffee, wake up with, and give me a 5-hour and a Slim Jim.
Slim Jim.
It's like 40 minutes to your
The
house
number
from mine.
one.
And that's,
The number one gas station stop is Slim Jim and a 5-hour.
That's it, man. I live on them 5 hours after 20 years.
Yeah.
They say it takes kids. It's taking a long time. Chase, tell you, I'm 2 a day, so.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's my coffee.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you on that driving, man. But my dad was a truck driver. My real dad was a truck driver.
I mean,
everybody
truck drivers are like the pinnacle of America's success. Like,
if you ain't got them, you ain't got America.
I mean, dude, there's a lot of them out there, and I couldn't do it.
Oh, no.
Like I said, there's jobs I can do, jobs I can't. That's one I can't.
Yeah. None but total respect.
Yeah.
And we got another one of our buddies here, Enhanced Power Products.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Josh Renner.
Oh, Renner.
Yep.
Renner, chicken dinner.
He's wanting to come up and just do a triple duo here.
Was he?
Yeah. He said,
didn't
"Why
say
don't you just come all up at once? Just do it all at once."
Wow.
Lord, I said, "Josh, we ain't got 10 hours."
That'd be an easy 10, 12-hour show. We'll get Josh in here in a week or so.
Yeah, he'll be a good time. Josh, he's done some really cool stuff.
Oh, I can tell.
I mean, he's super smart.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
I got to know Josh. They're real, just through working for him. And I guess you told him to come to me.
He said, "Man, we're going to get some stuff powder coated." And I said, "Got you."
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I sure do appreciate it. Well, that's what we do.
That's what we do. That's the best customers you'll ever get is word of mouth. Am I wrong?
You're absolutely
I mean,
right.
The
Look, I got
RPP
hooked.
customers we get that says, "Hey, so and so sent me." I can about guarantee you that so and so was a good dude. He's a good dude too.
Exactly right. That being said, how about we'll do a promotion code, a promo code, and I say code like you're gonna get online and do this. It's we can call it a safe word. Your safe word is hustle. If you call Race Proven Performance or C6 Land Clearing, mention the hustler that you've seen them on the hustle, and
What we can do is charge them double and give them half off.
there you go.
You know,
Do that.
and a free T-shirt.
Hey, I got some free T-shirts from him, I ain't gonna lie. 2 of them. I was so tickled. And Jared looked at me. He said, "He's a 2Xer." I come to my knees. I got Chase. Chase like 6'7" or something. So
Chase bought all my 1Xs.
yeah. Somebody got all the 1Xs, and I was out to dry. So I'm getting me some more shirts. So anyway, use that promo. Call in when you call Race Proven Performance, or you call Jared to do your land clearing. Tell him you seen him on the hustle, the When Hustlers Talk.
We'll figure out something. We'll do something for at least a free
We'll
T-shirt.
do something, Coach.
At least.
Yeah.
You know, so if
Yeah.
you're doing a bunch of work to your car and mention it, it's good that you've seen it. That's cool. We'll do something.
Yeah. We'll mention you next time on the show.
That's right. That's right.
Heck yeah. So we got
So
Dad was a truck driver. How's Audrey doing? Your mom?
she's good. She's good. Of course, Dad passed away 3 years ago.
Yeah.
A little over 3 years ago.
Man, I sort of hate that. I seen it when it happened. You know, and we weren't as tight back then. I just know you on Facebook, but it hit me.
It's terrible.
You know, I could tell back.
You know, the worst part about it is, you know, it was COVID related. I mean, he had some health issues, but but COVID was the last straw, and he got COVID pneumonia, and I mean, it was like up and down. They're like, well, you know, things are looking good, and well, it would, you know, it was one thing after another, and I was losing hope, and you know, it's tough, but it's a reality, and a lot of people went through it. Well, Josh Renner, I mean, dude, the poor kid almost died, and that dude's in the best health you'll ever see somebody in.
Yeah, I had no
Works
idea.
out all the time. Yeah, he laid in the hospital for a long time. I mean, so it's just like it's no rhyme or reason for the COVID stuff, man. It picked healthy people, unhealthy people, everybody. But yeah, and the worst part was I couldn't go see Dad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't.
No, they wouldn't let you.
Mom was in there, and they said if you leave, you can't come back. Well, she ain't gonna leave.
Right.
So yeah, she's went through it, and it was tough, and I'm a little jealous because she got to spend a little time with him, but you can't be. You know, obviously, if I'd have known now, I'd have went in, but who would have thought? You know, so the COVID stuff was just. I think everybody wants to put that behind us.
Yeah,
I think everybody you talk to has someone that either got seriously in the hospital or died from COVID.
Yeah,
and it stinks.
It does.
And at first I was kind of, a lot of people said, "Oh, it's a joke, it's this, it's that," but it was real. I mean,
very real.
I went through it myself, so
yeah. I mean, it's
what Chase. I mean,
I ended up with that COVID pneumonia myself.
Yeah.
And my lungs to this day, even like that wind out there hits me in the face just right. It's
really.
Yeah, it gets me that tickle going.
Yeah.
He was born with a heart condition too, so I mean, he's supposed to have surgery.
Yeah.
Supposed to have had surgery, and they keep saying, "Nah, you're not to where insurance wants you to be."
Yep.
So
seriously.
Yeah. So he's got like a messed up heart valve from birth, and they have to fix it.
Now.
No, he's born
26 years later.
26
just
years
now
later.
Getting to it.
Yeah, and they're still like every year, and they're like it's cardiology.
So even got to it.
They're like, nah, you're still
Yeah.
within range of you don't need it. So, but once it gets to a certain point, it's too late. So it's like, we got to get you near death just to save you. So,
Yeah.
Because, Blue Cross Blue Shield says so. Or whatever.
Sucks, man.
But no, that's a real deal. COVID is, man.
Yeah. But touching on that, I'll back up a little. I mean, when I was, Dad loved cars, and he used to tell me about racing and stuff, and tell me some funny stories. And one time he had an old Camaro or whatever, and I think they put $100 on a race, which is $100 back then is big time. He had like a 70 Camaro split bumper car, whatever, just a pretty car.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess he, he's revved up, ready to go. The car was in neutral. A stick shift car. So old dude took off, and Dad's like, race is over with. So he's like, yeah, that wasn't one of my proud moments, but I think it's funny. That's something I'd do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like to hear the real stuff, but he loved cars, but he knew how dangerous they were. And he wasn't a huge fan of me racing, to be honest with you.
Really?
And my first hustle was a little Mitsubishi Eclipse I bought because Dad would not let me have anything with the V8, right? Well, I'll say that I had a Camaro, my IROC Z, 86 IROC Z. That was actually my first car, and Mom and Dad surprised me with it Christmas morning. I got like a pair of socks, and I got like some underwear, okay? And I'm like,
when did my life start sucking at Christmas?
This year ain't been that bad. I've seen you sell at least 2 or 3 cows, you know.
You're sitting there thinking, you was thinking how bad you been. Like, wait a minute, this is one time I did that, I did this. God, did they know I do that?
Yeah. And then I opened up the last box was a Camaro keychain.
Ooh.
And I says, I don't have a Camaro. And by that time, my Uncle Adam, he come rolling in the driveway with it. And I was so excited. $1,200 car, so we get for it.
Yeah.
Bought it from John Key down the road. And I was like, man, I want that car so bad. They knew I wanted it. And about a week before Christmas, it was missing out of his driveway. And I says, man, that car's gone.
About it.
Mom says, well, somebody might have bought it. I said, well, that's all right. I didn't have money anyway. Which I didn't. I was literally 16 years old.
Yeah.
And sure enough, come rolling up the driveway. It's, Christmas morning. I was so excited. I threw him socks, and I said, heck with them. We're going to listen to some AC/DC in this IROC.
Oh, yeah. In my holy underwear.
Yeah. So, but no, that was awesome, man. And I was so happy,
You straight up wiring up 6x9s and flipping the breather first time.
But I was like, I can drive a tractor. Yeah, I know the farm stuff. I just wasn't interested in it. I was cars. And I was, how can we go faster? So I took the IROC and we put headers on it. Then we did a few other things. And back to the little Mitsubishi Eclipse. I had the IROC. That was cool. But it was like 160 horsepower car. Okay, it was a 305 carbureted. The weakest engine you could get in one of them cars. It was slow. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But it looked cool, right? Sounded cool. Well, I bought this little Mitsubishi Eclipse that needed a front bumper and a fender or something. I'm like, Mama, I said, I think I can make some money with that. And because Dad was like, don't take no chances. Don't do this. Don't do that. I sweet talked Mom into it. She worked up at the bank. And I says, Mama, so if you can get me a loan for this little Mitsubishi Eclipse for about $2,500 or $3,000 or whatever, I said, I can buy the car and fix it for that. And I said, I think I can drive it through college. I was in college at that time. I needed a gas zipper.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was my Ricer moment. And I was like, I'm going to drive this little car through college. And I said, I think I can sell it and make money at any time. If things get tight, I'll just sell it. I don't have to worry about a loan payment, Well, Mom got me that little loan. I bought that little Eclipse and sold it probably 6-8 months later for like $5,000.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is all right. I drove this car. It's a good-looking little car. It was good on gas. It was fun, And sold it. And I'm like, cool. I need to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
so
that hustler.
So the whole eBay was just kicking up, okay? And I found a 95 Firebird Trans Am with a blown motor. But it come with a good engine. And I bought that car for, I can't tell you, Brad, I'm going to say $2,800 to $3,000 with my Eclipse money, right?
Yeah.
So I bought that car and then brought it home. I asked Dad about it. I said, Dad, what do you think about this? And he says, nope. He said, it's a scam. It's, he was like, I don't like it. The internet was just coming around. There's a lot of shady people out there. I understand now what he was doing.
Right.
He's worried about his kid going to Alabama to get a car and somebody, heaven forbid, shoot you or some crazy person out there, right? Yeah. So I get it now. But then I was like, Dad's being a stinker, So I talked to my buddy Jeremy Cheatham. I says, hey, man, your uncle's, he had a new Cummins, high output 6-speed Cummins. And I was like, you think he'd let us borrow that thing for a little road trip? Y'all got a trailer too? They had a trailer. I said, I'll pay y'all what it's worth and we'll go get this car. And he says, yeah. I said, okay. Well, I snuck out and did it behind Dad's back. Because I knew this car was going to make some money. And I was going to love it till it made money.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wanted a Trans Am. You know, 6-speed car, silver, black leather, 6-speed. I'm like,
It's a car we always
I
wanted.
am in. So,
All of us wanted that car.
yeah. So I'm like, you know, the IROC, I can't remember what I was doing with it at that point, but I think it was just kind of stockish, you know. And I was like, these LT1s are the real deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I bought that car, got it back home, got the engine running, put the engine in it in my buddy's garage, and because we didn't have nothing but gravel to work in, you know. And so I used my buddy's garage, put the engine in it. And I remember when I drove it to the house, and there at Mom and Dad come out there, and he would never say much, you know. But he was like, that's a pretty good looking car, ain't it? At that moment, I was like, okay, maybe he trusts me a little.
He's coming around.
He trusts me a little more now.
Yeah.
And honestly, from that moment on, anything I bought and sold, which I was 18, a year or so later from there, wasn't much you could say anyway. But from then on out, Dad was like, all right, maybe he's you know, coming around. And then he watched me. My first truck was an 83 F-150, and I built it. I didn't use a single part of the body. We bought 2 trucks, made one.
Oh,
and I did it out there in the grass, beside the house, in the cold, in the rain, in the whatever.
Yeah.
You know, built this old truck. So he's seen that going in.
He respected it
And
because
he
you
gave me
worked
that
on
truck. You know, and that was an old farm truck. First thing I learned to drive stick shift.
Oh,
302.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect old farm truck. And
Shoot,
he's like, well, you can have that old Ford. And I'm like, I'm going to make that old Ford sweet.
Yeah.
And I did. Me and my uncle painted it, and I painted the frame and painted the engine, valve covers, you know, made it all look good. So by the time the old Ford, the IROC, and that Trans Am, he's like, well, I'm just going to let him go with it.
I get out of his way.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I was not interested in farming one bit. Of course, I was, you know, I'd met Amanda when I was 16. And so, of course, we were going out every night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, we were riding around. We were doing our teenager things.
Miss Amanda comes along.
Man, farming just got in my way at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
everything
Dad needed
gets in your
something.
way.
Yeah, if Dad and Mom needed something, they said, hey, we got a cow down. We need help. I was there.
Let's talk about it right. This is deer season. Deer season just came in. You was in rut. Whoa, I kicked the whole thing around. Yeah, you was in rut. See what rut does to you?
It's tough. It's
Kicking
tough.
tables over.
Yeah, it gets you going.
Well,
That's a 5-hour energy or the rut.
That's both. Oh, you can't handle both of them together.
No. Poor Darlene.
Two 5 hours and rut.
Poor Darlene.
I'm getting old.
But I was like, man, I respected the farming stuff, but I knew there wasn't a whole lot of money in it. You know, and I ain't saying there is today, but back then it was tough, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, cows sold cheap and equipment's high, fuel's high. It's half of the time back then, you know, and I was like, man, there ain't a whole lot of money to be made here, you know. So I opened my first shop when I was 21. And I said, I want to do more with cars. And it was, I got to thinking, you know, if I charge, I mean, you got to think this is I graduated 06. This is 2000. I was 21, so 3 years later, it was 2009-10 area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I could charge $75 I don't know what the hourly rate was back then, man. What, probably 50, 60
Yeah,
was good money then?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can do that, and that's, you know, way better than farming.
I think we did $50 an hour at that time, about that time. Yeah, on motorcycles, on Harleys.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably right. Probably $50,
Similar,
$60 an
yeah.
hour.
And I'm like, man, I had these big dreams. I was doing the math, like 40 hours a week, 50 an hour, blah blah blah. And then you own that. I own that shop, and then it was called Precision Auto Repair, and I did it for, I guess, a couple of years.
I did not even know about.
Yeah, it's called Precision Auto Repair. I was 21. I got my first shop when I was 21, and ironically bought my first Corvette I ever had when I was 21. And
Wow.
I was like, this is the life, you know. I wasn't making big bucks, but we had a really cheap house payment. Me and Amanda had, I think we had Kaylee. No, she was born in 12. So we didn't have a kiddo at that time, so it was easy. It was easy.
Oh yeah.
We had a $250 a month house payment, and you know, I could own that car, and the business didn't have to make a bunch of money, and I enjoyed it, and it was good. And then I started. Me and James Short took that Corvette out one time actually and broke third gear in it. I broke the rear end and I broke all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how to fix this. I can't afford to pay somebody else to fix it. I'm gonna have to learn how to fix it.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and after that, it kind of went to, hey man, I seen you fix transmission in your Corvette. Can you fix mine?
Yep.
And then before long, I quit working on mail carrier cars and Dodge Caravans, and just kind of eased towards the performance world.
Oh yeah.
So
Go where you just following your nose.
yeah,
It's like wherever your
I
head
was
turns.
ate up, man.
You know what I used to tell people that all the time. When your head keeps turning to a certain thing, you get your interest. You turn head, something turns your head.
Yep.
Follow your nose.
Yep.
That's the way you need to go in that
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're interested in.
Right. Yeah.
You know. So if she keeps turning your head, both
Follow.
follow her.
Follow her.
That's what I did to Darlene.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You got a nice studio here.
Thanks, man.
Darlene did it all, or just most of it?
I won't give her that much credit. But, you know. No, she did all the now. I've got 2 sponsors up here that was going to be up here for today's show, but they're not there because those are not easy to do.
I bet. Who
Because
does them?
well, Darlene does.
How?
They're
Etching?
laser. Yeah, she takes the back off,
Okay.
lasers on them and all that good stuff. But it's some of the graphics are not easy to do because it's not a clean file. You know,
Yep.
I mean, she loses me when she talks about that stuff. But
Those look really good though, especially that flips. Like it's really detailed.
yeah, Flips was probably the most intricate one so far. So
Turned out good.
yeah, man. But you got I like it C6 and the race proven up there. That's but those are your logos. So
Yeah, it turned out good too.
shoot, yeah. So yeah. So you've been into that and everything. But what after that did you go to Brian Tooley? Did you?
So here's what we did. So we went from that little shop down on the corner. It's actually Bottoms Auto now, and they do painting and collision and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just a little shop on Main Street. Your first shop.
Yeah.
And
If they did performance, would it be Power Bottoms?
I think it would. He'd crack up that. He's fine.
I hope so.
He actually had a little S10 back in the day that was pretty
Oh yeah.
pretty fast. Yeah.
Well, see, I can relate with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I like him
yeah.
as things.
Yeah, back in the day when the small blocks, he had like a 406 or 408 or something.
Yeah.
A little small block that run pretty good.
Yeah. That's
That
awesome.
was back when 11s were cooking.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like
So-
11s back in the day was.
Shoot, I remember when Ryan Reed had over in London had what was that thing he had 350Z, and with a full cage in it and everything, running 12s, and we thought Ryan Reed is a god.
Yeah, the man.
He's running 12 seconds flat.
That's funny.
Now they got diesel trucks, from the factory running that. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's come a long way.
It's wild.
But yeah, so
times are wild.
it's Bottoms now.
Yeah, so
But what-
anyways, we got out of there because we leased that building. Actually, the guy I worked for was like, man, it's too stressful. I want to do something else. Do you want to take over this shop? And I was like, shoot, I was 20 years old at the time. I'm like, 2021. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. I'm like, of course, I was always gung-ho, ready to try something until it didn't work.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, all right, yeah, let me run the numbers. And, of course, I talked to mom and dad, and they just didn't want, they didn't want to see me fail.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, but I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. My mom's like, you do whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's your, you're a grown boy. Can't stop you.
That's right.
And it worked out. I ain't going to say we made a killing, but I learned a whole lot. And that's what I recommend anybody to do. If you want to try a shop, don't go in full board. Rent someplace for 6 months or a year. Whatever you can do it for. Keep your overhead low. Don't buy a bunch of tools. Don't do a bunch of stuff. Establish a customer base, and try it out. It's like putting your feet in the water. Don't jump right in.
Yeah.
Like that way, in 6 months, if you say this ain't for me, which a lot of people do, you can get out of it. You can go back to doing what you enjoy.
You know what?
It ain't for everybody.
Exactly, because
Shop's tough.
The way I
powder coat stuff.
Powder coating was a product of I couldn't get anybody to two-tone motorcycle wheels for me, so I said I'll buy my own stuff and I'll learn how to do it because I want two-tone wheels on my baggers and choppers, and I want intricate pieces with complicated-looking powder coat on it. Nobody around here would do it.
Right.
Nobody that I could come in contact back then would do it. So I learned how to do it myself, and then which that turned into hey man, I'd pay a lot of money for you to do that on mine. So that becomes to a side hustle.
Yeah.
From you making, on your regular hustle, you make $100,000 a year, working for somebody maybe. And when your side hustle becomes so serious that it's like, I could do without that regular job, And
That's
then
when you know
like,
it's time.
That's what I propose everybody starts a side hustle. And does.
Yes.
And in your passion, you got to be passionate about it. You got to love it.
Or you ain't gonna do it.
You're not going to do it. You're not going to come out. You're not going to come out here and shoot the breeze. If you don't like talking, don't do a podcast. So, is right?
Right.
I'd rather talk than eat.
I mean,
I like to eat. Don't get me wrong. You
we
look
eat
at
and talk.
Huh? Yeah, we can. I
Hey,
smoked.
that's a good
Round
idea.
two.
Hey, I smoked a Boston butt last night.
Yeah.
And I got a little secret I added to it. And was it good, Chase?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, no, I'm over, barbecue, Boston butt, and all that stuff because I've done it so much, just for us. And I got excited about this one. Oh, it was good.
It was good.
Yeah. But yeah, so you did all that.
So,
So,
bought a new shop.
Yeah.
We found a shop in front of Wendy's in Harrodsburg, and used to be Darren's Body Shop, and probably not many people that's listening to this will be from Harrodsburg. They may be, but they'll know. It's Darren's Body Shop, and man, I bet you we bought this place for I'm talking this on the main drag in Harrodsburg, 40 by 60 building, black top. Black top's kind of rough, but still, for like $125,000.
Yeah.
And I mean,
On Main Street.
127.
127.
Yeah, right in front of
that's
Wendy's
God.
and the gas station. So it was like
Daggone. Prime real
heck of a
estate.
location. Well, here's the problem. We got our little gig going. And me and James Short were together in this deal. He was doing the tuning. I was doing the builds.
Yeah.
And we decided to call. James Short actually come up with the name Race Proven Performance.
Really?
If anybody knew that or not, but he actually come up with the name. I was like, man, that sounds good. Let's go with it.
Yeah, Race Proven.
And so we had that gig. James had his dyno in the back. We're backed up right to the subdivision. And we got, of course, James. I mean, sometimes he'd show up at 12, but he'd be there till 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He does what he wants. Tunes what he wants. I don't care. But the people were not real happy.
Oh, I
with
bet.
the late night stuff.
You was that neighbor.
We
You
got
was
some
that
fuss, and I'm like, I'm out at 5, boys. We'll see you.
Yeah.
But James stayed late too and stuff, and he got some complaints, but they eventually got over it.
Oh, yeah.
Long story short, we done good there. I said we bought our house in Bergen, and I said I'm going to build me a shop there, keep overhead low. I'm always about overhead being low.
Oh, yeah, you got to have
if I
low.
can. And so we sold that shop, made a little bit of money off of it. But I sold it to a good friend of mine, Jonathan Elliott. Now it's J. Elliott Heating and Air. And and so he's a hustler too, buddy.
Is he?
I graduated with this dude, and yeah, he gets it every single day in attics, underneath houses, just
Oh, yeah.
got a good gig.
Oh,
going.
yeah.
And Jonathan's really cool. He's my age, but he doesn't like new stuff.
Yeah.
He's all about old school. Like he's got an old '67 Corvette that he drives. I think it's a '67. He can correct me, but
Yeah.
he's got an old, C2 or whatever that he drives for his play toy. Like
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
Like weekend, like if it's sprinkling rain, he's still gonna drive it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Heck
It's
yeah.
a driver. Like,
That's
and
awesome.
he's got an old Blazer. He's got all kinds of old Suburban. He takes across the country with the LS swap. Like, got all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, man.
Got one of them 6x6. What are those things called?
6x6.
Big 6x6 Army.
Oh.
What are they called? Come on, Chase. You know.
Hey, I don't know that one.
I know what you're talking
Oh
about.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll think of it later. But yeah,
Yeah.
one of those big 6x6 things that are super cool.
Oh, yeah.
And he's gearhead. Grew up gearhead. His dad owned the Corvette since he was like 16. I grew up with him too, and like his dad was always super cool because he had this 65 Corvette, I think, 4-speed car. Ironically, the first car I ever put a clutch in. I think I was 13.
Oh.
His dad let me work on that car. I was a nervous wreck, bro.
Oh, I bet.
Nervous wreck. This car's heated, cooled, climate control garage all the time. 60,000 original miles on it. He's had it for, I don't know how old Arthur is, but he's probably...
Arthur Elliott?
Yes.
that's my boy. Right,
You know him.
I love Arthur Elliott.
Perfect. Okay.
Arthur V. Elliott.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's him.
I love
Well, you
that.
know that green car he's got.
I told him I was going to move to Florida with him.
Yeah.
I'm going down there.
Have you seen his car, the green one?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It is beautiful.
It's got Foose wheels or Boyd Coddingtons on
Oh,
it or
it's,
something.
yeah, I'm not sure. But
He asked me if I could put a clutch in. I said, I'm scared to death, Brad.
I'd be scared right now.
Oh, God.
I'm a grown man and I'd be scared.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I've got
You
that.
got to know Arthur, though. Arthur's cold as ice
He
water,
is.
man.
He
He'd
is
say,
a hot rod nut.
and he told me, he's like, Brad, he said, we go to Florida. Well, I go down there. He's like, well, come on
I didn't know
down,
you
man.
knew him.
He's like, well, we got cold beer. I was like,
Arthur likes beer.
you know how to teleport me from one place to another.
Well, I'll be there.
Like that is cold beer.
Arthur's the man.
He's a good one. So.
Yeah, he is. How'd you meet him? Just a quick little
I worked with I've done much of work for him. You know,
powder coat.
powder coating. Yeah,
Didn't know that.
yeah. Arthur come down. He had.
See, I've been talking about Jonathan. Yeah, that's his son.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Who bought that? Yeah.
Yeah, because he talks about it, you know, when he's here. So yeah, I've done Jeep wheels and stuff for him.
Yeah.
For their Florida vehicles, for
Yeah.
the wife's vehicle,
Yeah.
and you
Arthur's
know, all
super
kinds
cool.
of stuff. Yeah.
So, but anyhow, so sold that building to Johnson, moved home, built a 24x40 garage, and me and Timmy Combs worked in it, and Timmy's diesel guy, but he liked hot rod stuff too, and his daddy liked hot rod stuff, so he's perfect. So he helped me. Went there, and we were making okay money. It was a lot of cash, and it was I wouldn't show much on paper, and it was like we were announced that we were having our second kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we need something other than this house. I mean, it's a good little house.
Oh
but
yeah.
we need something that we can grow into.
Outgrowing.
Yeah, and it was a great little house. But we're like, let's start looking. And told Amanda, I'm looking forward. I said, I need to get me a factory job for about 6-8 months or a year, just to show income, so we can plan on getting this. And so I went and got me a job at Megget Aircraft Braking Solutions. As quick backstory, I got my degree in machine tool technology.
Oh yeah.
So I learned a lot about CNCs and machine tool, and so that was always a good fallback deal.
Well, shoot, I can get you a job. Making
Dude,
that big money on the CNC
you
stuff.
can get a job any day if you know that stuff.
If you know that stuff,
and that's why I took it, because I was
oh,
like,
yeah.
I felt comfortable with automotive. I didn't take automotive in school because I was like, I think I know what I need to know. Like the rest I can figure out. I don't feel like paying for school for it.
Yeah.
I want to learn something different.
Exactly.
Looking back now, I kind of wish I took welding.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to be a better welder.
Yeah.
I suck at it.
I do too.
Really
I'm just
bad.
like, I stick it. But I'm not a welder.
I can weld on a tractor.
I'm a
I cannot weld on
grinder.
a Corvette.
Son, I can grind.
With
I can
best
weld.
of,
Oh yeah, I'll
you
weld.
put the little grooves in with your grinder to make it look like it's.
Oh yeah, man. I'm like, looks machine turned. Yeah, I can grind with them.
Machine tool, took that, got it so instantly got a job. I mean, you can get a job for anybody wanting to go to school for something. Machine tool's good. Like you can, you can land a job tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's always looking for good machinists, man. So I got that gig, and I says, we're gonna do this for a little bit, run the shop, and Timmy still helped me a little bit, and then everything was going good. And, let's see, I was talking to Brian Tooley one day, and he got to know me a little bit. I met him at Summer Nights Cruise right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, met him at Summer Nights Cruise, first time I ever met him. And it was so funny because James and Brian were pretty good buds. And
Yeah.
James is like, man, you need to know Brian. Brian's a good dude. Like, want to see you talk to him and meet him in person. And I'm like, cool. And I guess James showed him a picture of my C6 Corvette Nemo. I don't know if you remember Nemo, the orange one I had. It was first C6 I ever had.
Well, I've seen pictures of it. I didn't know the car.
It was in a million pieces in the floor at like 12 o'clock on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And Saturday's Summer Nights Cruise. And I showed up there at the AutoZone down here by Fort Bank or whatever about 7 o'clock driving that car.
Heck yeah.
Brian Tooley was immediately like, is that the one that was on Facebook in the floor in a million pieces? And I'm like, that's her.
Yeah.
He's like, that's impressive.
You need a job.
So me and Brian ended up buying the C6 Z06, which is a black car that we ended up setting the records with later down the road. But
Yeah.
I ended up buying that car, and we'd tinker with it a little bit, me and James. And Brian was like, he's like, man, why don't you just come down here and work for me part sales? Brian's gig took off way more than he thought it was going to. You know,
I reckon he's worldwide now, man. Everybody, you got Chinese people over going, Brian Dooley.
I'll tell you what he told me, and I don't think he'll mind me saying this a bit. He said, Jared, I really I wanted to make like $60,000 a year for myself, and that's it. He's like, that's it. I just want to sell enough cams and springs out of my basement. I want to make like $60,000 a year. That was good for me. He had a paid for truck. You know, I had a nice house, but like I don't know his financials, but that's all he wanted to make. He's like, man, I'm good with that.
Simple.
And dude, it blew up. And he's like, dude, I need help. I need people that know what they're selling. I need people that know this stuff.
Yeah.
And he made me an offer, and he said, I'll give you this. And it was pretty close to what I was making at the factory. And I was like, man, Brian, I would love the job, but the drive, 45 minutes.
Where's it at?
Bardstown.
Oh, okay.
So I was working in Danville, so lived in Harrisburg, working in Danville versus.
Dang, that is
drive. That's a drive, man. And I says, Brian, I would love to work for you more than anything, like, because I would love to do that more than turn these, brake rotors. And I'm like, but I just can't do it for that,
Yeah.
And I was like, plus, we bought the house we're in now. We're getting ready to close on it. I got to ride this out.
Yeah, you can't mess with that.
Once we're closed.
You can't mess with that.
Yeah, once we're closed, we'll talk, but he was needing help so bad. He was like, man.
Yeah.
So he hit me up probably a couple months later. We all closed on our house, and he offered me a little more money. And I was I told him, man, I said, what? I said, I want to make the drive. I ain't never really drove far to work, so it won't bother me. So I bought me a little beater car to drive back and forth, because it did cost. That was when gas was pretty high, I feel like, around that area. But
yeah, you're probably right. That's probably about like, what's his name? What's that one guy that was our president? What's his name? Obama. That was probably Obama years, ain't it?
It was.
Yep.
I believe,
we had high gas prices.
Yeah, it was bad. So anyways, but I worked for Brian so I'm trying to back up. So we're in the middle of building a new shop at the new house we just bought. As soon as I bought it, I'm like, hey, give me a home equity loan. I want to build a shop here.
Give me a line of credit.
These people are like, they're like, gosh dang, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
But I knew I needed a shop there.
I've done the same thing before.
I mean,
back when I
still do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I'm not trying to do cash now.
That's right. Yeah, I ain't there yet. I'm hustling.
You're ahead of me.
Almost hustling.
Don't get it switched. You're ahead of me.
But Brian's, worked there, and it was awesome. Met a bunch of cool people. Learned so much. I consider what I learned there worth more than what I made. And supported my family and done great. And Brian was always super fair for an employer, And, And I learned so much, though.
Yeah.
And now I can teach the guys at my shop the things that Brian taught me. Checking valve spring hot and checking all this stuff that probably a lot of shop owners don't do or don't know how to do. They just stick parts on and go.
That's what it's about.
And so that I'm thankful for more than anything. You know what I mean?
I mean, you took a chance.
Yeah.
But it was in the right direction where you wanted to be.
Yeah, I don't regret it a bit.
I don't see you switching up and going somewhere else and factorying it up or nothing like that. No. I mean, I don't know your situation, and all that stuff, but
no. But that was a unique opportunity.
That was a unique opportunity, man.
And I knew Brian was coming up, and I figured he was going to go big, and he has, and it's been great.
Well, so I mean, working for Brian Tooley kind of probably sparked that next level in your you got a name with him, didn't you? Racing and whatnot. I mean, racing his cars and stuff against.
I raced his half mile car. So he had a blue ZR1 that he had bought, and we needed an engine. He bought it from Morris Malone. I don't know if you know Morris Malone, but he's super duper fast. Like this dude's half mile racing Corvette guru, right? Yeah. And so we bought it from him, or Brian bought it from him, and he's like, man, I ain't driving this thing. He's like, and you're the most experienced stick shift driver in the building. He's like, you want to drive it?
Mr. 6 Speed.
Yeah, and and I'm like, man, I'll take a stab at it.
Yeah.
Never. So we took this car down. It's quick. I'll try to make it quick, but took this car down, and we knew it made 1,500 horsepower, and it was full weight AC. Like, this wasn't a race. This is like a car you could drive to Florida and back.
Wow. Okay.
So we took this car out, still synchronized transmission, regular clutch, nothing fancy, but it made a lot of power, and it had a lot of weight in the back, and it still had magnetic ride, and this car was unbelievably, it hooked so well on an unprepped surface. It was unreal.
Yeah.
It had so much weight in the back. It was our ice tank in the back. It was a compound boost. It had the factory supercharger and a Pro Mod 98 Precision turbo mounted in the rear. So all this weight was in the rear of this car. So first pass, I take off, and of course I've never drove somebody else's car before. I'm a nervous wreck, you know. I've never even drove this car farther than on and off the trailer or around the subdivision, like where Brian lived at the time. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to take this thing down. Never done half-mile racing. And we get there, and we're talking to the guys about half-mile racing. Charlie Hill was there, and they've done it. You know, he went super fast. And we're like, hey, man, what do we need to know? You know, we're new. And he's like, well, a parachute would be nice. I'm like, well, don't have that. And he's like, and you need wide front tires because you're going to be on the brakes hard if you don't have a parachute. And I'm like, we got skinnies on the front.
Skinnies on the front, no shoe.
So this is going to be great. You know, so first hit, I go out there, and of course I wind this thing out. I'm nervous wreck. There's trees on both sides. It's Clayton, Georgia, I think is where we went. But beautiful place.
Oh yeah.
Bad place to wreck. Trees both sides, bad place to wreck. Okay? So I take this car out. First lick, it goes 197, and I'm like, okay. And I shifted to fifth, and you know, I'm not used to a car that turns that many RPM, so I shifted like 7,500 or something. And shifted to fifth, went 197. I'm like, cool. That's a good first lick. I drove this car 5 miles an hour. We just went 120 or 197. You know, that's good. That's a good improvement. Yeah. Brian's like, man, that's awesome. He's like, this next pass, he said, take it out there and hold it out in fourth. And I'm like doing the math on a 28-inch tire and the RPMs this thing will turn. And he's like, it'll take it. It's solid roller, 388, loves to rev. It'll take it. I'm like, your car, boss. You know.
Yeah, whatever you need.
And we ended up having trouble. We didn't get to make another hit. Wastegate clamp fell off. Nobody could find one. It was an ordeal. So we took it back 2, 3, 4 weeks later to South Carolina, North Carolina, somewhere in there where there was an airstrip too for a half-mile event. And dude, I was so excited. Got up there. Never raced this track. I'm going for my second pass ever, going the half-mile. Never done it.
Yeah. And
I do know that they give out T-shirts if you go over 200.
Yeah.
And I get in and I said, man, that felt good. I held that thing out in fourth gear. I'm walking. I mean, the tack on a factory 01's like 7,000, 7,500. Well, it's wrapped. I mean, this thing's turning, dude. And Brian said it's good for 8,800 RPMs. So I'm like,
you tested it out.
Cool. So this thing is just screaming, please don't blow up. Like, please don't blow up. I've never heard an engine this, you know, this tight. And I'm like, man, this is not my car. And I'm like, just, you know, and thinking about wrecking too, thinking about oil under the tires at 200 mile an hour is bad. I'm
200
all these things, right?
It's the stop that
gets. And then I pull around there, and I'm like, man, this guy's getting a T-shirt out. And I knew what that meant. And I still got that shirt. And it's want to go fast, 200 mile an hour club or whatever. Yeah. And we pull up there, and he's like, how'd that feel? I was like, good. He's like, it's good enough for a T-shirt. And he's like, I was like, how fast was it? He's like 205.6 or something.
God.
And I was like, hell yeah, way to start the day, you know?
Yeah.
So we go back and we're trying to make it faster. We're trying to figure out stuff. We're putting blue painter's tape around the headlight. You know, any crack is getting taped up. Yeah. We're trying to add just a touch more power because I'm like, I think it'd take a little more in third, fourth, and ended up just the car looked like a dang painter's tape freaking mess.
Oh, yeah.
But we ended up going 209 or 210 that day. Wow. So it did help. The painter's tape's worth a mile an hour.
Well, you got the world record in that car, didn't you?
I don't think anybody with an H pattern Corvette's been faster than 210. That's what we ended up going. We went to a Indiana airstrip, and we went 210 with it. Yeah. And it's not fast compared to a lot of other people out there. But I don't think anybody's been faster than a Corvette, you know.
That's awesome.
Some of the H pattern Vipers have been like 220s, I think. Maybe 230. Quote me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, but we don't count that. Way, it's Dodge. We don't count Dodges.
Either way, it was a lot of fun, man. That was some of the most laid back, cool racing. There's no pressure. You can take off whenever you want. The guy beside you don't matter. Yeah. It's all about that mile per hour.
Well, I can't. You said there's no pressure. Nobody talks any smack. The smack talking when racing would take me up to, because I see what people talked to you about years ago when you were racing, and they're still dragging it out of the woodwork and wanting to fight, and they're like, no, they don't want to fight. they want a keyboard punch you right in the mouth
right
with
in
their
the mouth.
keyboard. Their little iPhone, you right in the mouth.
Yeah.
I could not do that. I'm a laid back dude. I'll be your best friend, and I'm the nicest guy in the world. Till you talk to me wrong, then I want to go to your throat.
Yep.
Then I want to go to your back and your legs, and I don't do this. I don't disrespect people, and I don't want disrespected in return. I couldn't deal with that talk all the time. The real slander on drag racing. I don't see how y'all put up with it.
Yeah, it's
I don't know why it's there. I guess they say it's part of it.
Yeah, you meet so many good people, and usually the good people that are really fast don't talk crap. It's the people that haven't done anything in their life. You know, and
so
not saying I've done much, but like it's
water
usually
off
the
a
people that.
So you're like water off a duck's back. Don't give a crack.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about racing as much as I used to, due to the fact that my little girls love this farm stuff, and I love it too. And it's like, I spent so much money. I ain't gonna say I wasted it, but it takes so much money to race a car. At the level where I quit, I was like, I either have to get a lot of sponsors, or dial it back, or just quit.
Right.
And I really haven't had a recourse of wanting to jump back on the wagon and race yet.
Well, you got to think.
I'm not going to say if I made $1 million next year, had in the bank, that I wouldn't go racing. I would love to, but the amount of money it takes and the time.
It does take a lot, and that's part of it. I love the thoughts of it and the fun of it and everything. Like, I beat your hind end. But now, I'm probably a lot like you personality-wise. Is if I'm going to do something, I got to be number one. I want everybody to say this guy's the best, and that's just my mentality on. Yeah. Even if I'm not, I want to think that I've got a good chance at being first, you know, and
100%.
And that's the way. That's what drives people, you know, and hopefully that's what drives people, and you know.
Yeah, everybody wants the same end goal.
You want to be number one.
They want to,
be first or last.
That's right.
But yeah, that's awesome. But so you had the world record with Brian Tooley in his car.
In the half-mile car,
In the half-mile car. But
in 2012, before I started for Brian, a little backstory. It was funny because he would tell a lot better than me. But I was just a good old boy, you know. I'm like, I wore my cowboy boots like I am now.
A farm boy.
I went down to the basement at Brian Tooley's house, and I said, hi, it's good to see you again. I met you at Sunrise Cruise. You remember me? Oh, yeah, James's buddy. And he's like, man, he said, now you're wanting to set the naturally aspirated Corvette record. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I need your help doing it. I need a camshaft for this car. I know.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, well, let's do these. Let's send these heads to, I'm trying to remember where we sent them. It's a place in California. Sent these heads off. Got the camshaft done. He's like, I'm going to do this cam. He's like, I think it'll work. He's like, if it don't work, I'll get you another one. Like, we'll make it right, you know. And he's like, but he told me later on, he's like, man, he said, you walk down there in them cowboy boots, and he said, I thought, come on, dude, what are you gonna do here?
Well, you want you to wear loafers? That's all I wear is cowboy boots. I show up nothing but cowboy boots. But I think
about people. I think about people now that I see, and you cannot judge a book by its cover.
That's
at
exactly
all.
Right.
You know, the fastest guy in stick shift racing right now, I met Nick Coleman. And I met him at PRI, similar probably to what Brian was thinking. But I met Nick, and he says, yeah, I got a twin turbo S10 stick shift. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that ain't going to work. You know, there ain't nobody done that yet.
Right.
But let me tell you.
Bad outfit?
That dude right there is 100% deserving of everything he's got because he has hustled. Works day and night on that truck, and it's a bad little stick shift truck.
Yeah.
It's been 640s and a quarter.
Yeah.
Insane. But I met him
in a quarter.
And here's how I knew this dude.
Yeah.
This is how I knew this dude was a hustler. I mean, his hands were, you could tell he had grease under his fingernails. He'd been working. And he come to the booth. He says, man, I've been watching you. He says, I think your car is awesome, this, that, and the other. And it makes you feel good, man. When
Heck yeah, man.
But he told me, so I'm building this, Turbo S10. I always remembered him. And I'm like, man, a lot of people are building stuff on there. And then I seen him come out swinging. I'm like, He does. I think he does his own fab work, builds his own cages, does all of it. I mean,
That's respect.
yeah. So I'm like, man, them guys deserve it. So like, I
That's
don't care a
awesome.
bit to lose to a guy like that. Like,
Yeah. He puts his life in it.
Yeah,
Somebody like that.
he, he probably, whether he comes from money or not doesn't matter. But
Right.
my guessing is his hustling got him where he's at.
Yep.
And that's the best
Usually,
story.
them cracks in them hands
Yeah.
on both sides, outside and in,
Yeah.
around your fingernails and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, mine's pretty good right now. I ain't been working on my truck. It's getting painted. So, but usually I'm in there with them chemicals, you know, and then the powder
up.
and all that stuff, and then I get my hands good and cracked up and bloody looking, and then I
Yeah.
go get greasy, and that's when you get. Somebody at the dollar store one time, I went down there to get something, and that woman said, "Your hands always dirty." I said, "I work a lot." She's like, "Well, working man hands is fine with me, honey."
That's funny. So does Darlene look at him every week?
Oh
She'll
no,
say-
she don't even look at them. She's
I
like,
figured she'd say, I'm going to fix you
yeah.
a pork
See,
butt
look,
this week. Or,
they manicured look pretty good
Yeah,
right now. You know,
yeah,
I know that I was getting on camera, so look at there. I got clean hands,
look at there.
dirty money. Clean hands, dirty money. No,
Yeah.
dirty hands, clean money. That's it.
Clean hands, dirty money.
Yeah, clean hands, dirty money, probably.
But anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
backstories. You know, so Brown's like, yeah, man, he's like, you and everybody else wants that NA stick shift Corvette record. You know, it was, back then people were going like, you know, them cars were doing like high tens factory,
Yeah,
like with a good driver. So going nines really isn't that out far out of realm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it can happen, obviously.
oh yeah.
And me and James tuned it and we did it and
You got the
Brian,
record.
And Brian's like, awesome. And man, I'm telling you, I drew more haters. After that,
yeah.
I had people messaging me and just people saying, so-and-so saying your car ain't on motor and it's sprayed. And I said, you wait till we spray it. You know what I mean?
You want me to spray it? I'll spray it.
You just wait. It's
You say
coming.
it, I'll spray it.
Yeah. And, of course, we went to track, and that's when me and EC was big time buddies.
Oh yeah.
Went up to Maryland. We went everywhere together. We had such a good time, man. I wish I'd go back to those days.
Before that trip, the day you left, AC was telling me a while back. I was just me and him was talking about you, and I said that old Jared.
Make sure EC's Eric Lancaster.
Yeah, Eric Lancaster.
Just so everybody knows.
Eric Christopher Lancaster.
Is that where you got
EC.
it from?
Yeah,
Perfect. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's either Eric Christopher or Eric Christian. I know it's EC.
Yeah.
That's his initials.
Yeah, he's a what do me and Bruce Keith used to call him. Model. What's the male model?
Oh God, I don't know, Fabio.
No, I mean he's gorgeous though.
Oh yeah, EC's like I don't know. He's like he's like a Leonardo DiCaprio, but he's like 6'2".
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So, but he's taking women.
He's taken.
He's taking.
Yeah.
And anyhow, but no, Easy. He's like, I was talking to him. That's why I call him Easy. Oh, Easy. And he said, yeah, I have Jared tell you about. He said, man, we had big dreams on these cars. He said, we're gonna go set world records and this and that. He said, we're gonna go traveling around all of these Corvette, you know, racing things here and there. He said, all over the United States. He said, I'll come up there and I'm like, I'm heading your way. He said, all right. Jared, he said, all right. He said, Jared, I pulled up Jared's house and he said, man, he's got his motor out of his car or something there like that. So I can't remember what went wrong. Something went wrong with your car, like right the day before you left or something. And he said, well,
Always next.
well, it's always next. We'll try to get it next year, man. We missed this. And then Jared looked at me and said, what? I'll have this done in a minute. And he said, no, there's no way, but all right. He said, that boy was driving the car in the trailer. And
I didn't get to wash it. I was upset.
Robbie,
Yeah,
you do remember.
I took some spray wash.
Do you remember what was wrong with it? I can't remember what it was.
I can't roll with Eric without a washed up car. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said you had to replace or do or something. He said it was like astronomical.
We went to our first trip to Maryland. We had a blacked out Dually Duramax back in the day, one I bought wrecked rebuild, got a heck of a deal on it. People thought it cost a fortune probably, but I got a heck of a deal on it. And his uncle Gerald, is that his uncle?
Gerald's not his uncle. Yeah, I know Gerald.
Gerald had a trailer.
Gerald Gregory.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
London Auto Sales.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just did wheels for Joe Gregory.
Did you?
Yeah, this
I like
week.
I like him, boys. They're good people.
Little Joe.
Yeah. Well, Gregory had a trailer, 48 foot, 50 foot, whatever it was. It fit both our cars in it, and we thought we was just balling, you know.
Oh yeah.
So we loaded them things up and took them up north or to Maryland, and we unloaded. And it was so funny because there's people that come there from Colorado. Like it was a Corvette rental, and everybody knows the air, the DA is so great. The track prep up there back then, Jason Miller did all of it. It was insane.
Wow.
I mean, it was the place to set a record, right?
Yeah.
Me and Eric's like headed north, and so we head to Maryland, get there and unload, and it was so funny because I'm a redneck. I mean, Eric speaks for himself, but I'm like, these boys are looking at my truck and our trailer. Don't even care about the cars. They're walking around like, dang, what a rig. You know what I mean? You never seen mud tires on a dually. Where you from, Kentucky? Yep.
Yeah, we in the hills.
Yeah, so no, it's funny though. It was a good looking outfit though. Big old black trailer, big blacked out truck,
Yeah, man.
Man, we had a good time. We unloaded the cars, and everybody loved Eric's. ZR1s are unheard of then.
Yeah.
To an extent,
Oh, yeah.
He unloaded his car.
I know the guy he bought it off of.
Yeah.
Here in Somerset. He bought it here in Somerset. Leroy Owens.
I remember seeing that car.
Car.
What's funny is I remember seeing that car at a Summer Nights Cruise.
Yeah.
For sale.
That's when Leroy had it.
Rebuilt Total car or whatever.
Yeah.
It was pretty reasonable.
Oh, yeah. AC said, I stole it.
Yeah.
I was like, how much? He told me, and I can't remember how much it was, but I was sitting there thinking, your salary's not stealing it. And I'm stealing it compared to, to
that car looked
AC.
good, though. I mean, it didn't look rebuilt at all.
That was a beautiful car. Beautiful car.
Yeah, we unloaded. I think the first time up there we went to. It was so funny, man. I'm kind of a run and gun sometimes. If I feel it, I just jump in that car and go, and I'm like, I'm doing it. And then Eric's like checking his tire pressure, checking every little thing.
Yeah.
And I sprayed the car one time the night before because the car had been 990s on motor. 993 it went that day. So, I was like, cool. So first time I sprayed it, the car picked up a bunch of mile an hour, but it didn't 60 foot. I was learning how to, just had a regular clutch, regular transmission. It's full on street car. And I'm like trying to learn how to launch it with the nitrous and let it not knock the tires off, bring it in slow, like trying to figure it out. And I didn't sleep hardly much that night. Me and Eric, I'm sitting there thinking, man, what do I got to do to make this car leave? And then next morning, I just went out there and I jumped that sucker, got the bottle pressure up, and made a hit. Went 912 at like 160 or something.
Oof.
And Eric come up there, he says, man, I'm so golly, what'd you do? That's freaking awesome. You almost went 8s with, that was unheard of then with his stick shift.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, dude, I think the record was 917 for a Corvette. So I think I broke the Corvette record in 2013, 14.
Wow.
Eric's so excited. He's like, man,
oh, yeah.
What'd you do? He said, what was your tire pressure? I said, hell, I don't know. It just felt good. I went with it.
Heck
But it was, he said, you gonna tell me you went out there and went 912, didn't even check your tire pressure? I said,
didn't know nothing.
I said, I was tore up, but I knew I just need to go.
Yeah.
It's my time to go. I just need to go. Get up there and do it and get the shakes off,
Oh, yeah.
Just so happened to be a good pass.
Heck yeah.
But
I seen the video. I was like,
That's
man,
been a
that's
minute.
awesome. That was freaking awesome.
time.
When I told you I met you, the first time I ever met you was at Clay City at the track when I was with EC. And we put up. I remember him running one time. There was a Lamborghini. I can't remember whose
the Lamborghini video you shared was at Maryland.
No, but there was a Lamborghini in Richmond that night.
Oh.
Or at Clay City that night.
Got it.
Well, that was slow compared to them Corvettes. I was like, man, I think slow.
Yeah.
And EC was like, yeah, the Lamborghini thing. And I was like, God, Lamborghini ain't that. Okay. But evidently to a nice decked out Corvette, a Lamborghini ain't nothing.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, but that one was in Ohio or wherever, Maryland. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that was
That guy got half track.
So, man, Jason Miller was talking it up. He's like, man, this ZR, I think the record was 967 on blower only for ZR1. And Eric was up there, and Jason Miller shut the whole track down. He said, everybody stop. He said, Eric's getting ready to try to set a world record right here.
Ooh.
He comes on the announcer stand. Eric
Oh,
Lancaster
God.
out of Kentucky in his ER1 Corvette about to set a world record. Y'all
Right.
watch this.
Put some pressure on.
I leaned over his window. I was like, no pressure, bud. Bro, he's sitting there in front of the water box just going through the gears and the car off. You know, he's God. Second, third, fourth. And I'm like,
He was eating it up. Oh, he was
no
eating
pressure.
it up.
They just stopped everything for you. Here you
Yeah.
go. And he went out there, and I think he missed a gear on that pass. And I think he come back around. They let him have a few licks at it, and I think he either broke it or broke it the next weekend at another track.
Yeah.
But he was right there on it. I think he went maybe
Stock bottom end. What? Stock bottom
Oh,
end
yeah,
Corvette record.
He ended up going 8s with it, stock bottom.
Yeah.
Like 898 or 8 something.
880, 889, I think it was, or
Something.
8 something. Yeah. God, I was like, he called me when he broke.
Those were the
He's
good
like,
old days, man.
he's like, hey, big Iger, you gonna get on there and check him out?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have any special we didn't have, dog box or
Right.
whatever transmission you want to call it. But, we had full synchronized factory transmission. I think he had one from RPM, and RPM was helping me with my stuff at that point. But, like, we did a lot with a little.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and honestly got lucky on a lot of it.
Yeah. That's all.
We was eating it up,
It's a good time.
That's like him pulling out of McDonald's talking about
Oh,
banging
yeah.
gears.
Or going down Highway 30
Yeah.
over 200 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And with the service manager at the Harley shop there, and he's like, God almighty, I thought we were dead. I said, man, I'm dead right here. Love you, Jesus. See you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Then, but yeah. So you got that, all that BTR, you setting records, you racing his car, you racing your car, getting the 6-speed records and all that stuff. So you 2-time at the wheel world records.
Yeah, at one time my black car had the NA record and the Power Adder record. Like
So that's
the
3
overall.
world records.
So at one time it had it, and then I think the car went 8. I think the fastest it went was 882. I think is what it went.
Wow.
And then it held that for a while, and Josh Tonsky come along, and it's a good friend of mine. He's
Yeah.
another dude that deserves it. Like everybody that's going that fast most likely deserves it.
You deserve it, though.
I mean, they do. Like, so
You strap in and do it, you need it.
Yeah, he beat me, and I'm like, I sent him a little message there on Facebook. I said, man, that looked good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I said that was a good pass. Like,
Yeah.
congrats.
Oh, yeah.
I think I went 877. He went 875 a few years later, and then from then, I mean, it's just went insane. The stick shift stuff is insane.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, yeah. I can imagine. And the way technology is, and all the, well, I mean, people, you're talking about going against people with millions of dollars too.
Yeah.
You know, I saw Cletus McFarland just released another vehicle. What was that? Where they cut loose a car? Was it
The Eagle,
Yeah.
the Camaro.
Yeah. It's like, good God. You know, what does an unlimited amount of money build you?
Yeah.
And then, Clay's is cool, man. He made his way. You
100%.
know, that he made his way.
Yeah.
Hats off to you. Ain't got one on, but it's off for you. And that's amazing. I love it. I love to see people do things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Then, yep.
I don't think there's one guy in the stick shift gang out there right now that don't deserve it. Like,
All right.
because pretty much all of them are drivers and they work on their car. They're all in.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be. Like
Yeah,
at that
gotta-
level, you almost got to build your car and race it because you got to know its every move.
Yeah.
And if something happens, what that could have been, or I need to get out of it. I forgot to drain my catch can. Or I need to back off. Something didn't feel right with the trans or clutch. Or you almost have to build it and race it in the stick shift gang, and I'm pretty sure about all them guys do. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and that's why they're successful.
Yep.
So,
Do you know Rick Ball that owns RC
Yes.
Components?
Yep.
You do know Rick? Oop,
Yep.
I knocked that over. Rick, he's got the Mustang body. It's got a Hemi motor in it.
I hadn't seen that car.
Oh my God, it's gonna be the fastest street car
No telling. Huh?
out there. No, it's like within hundredths of a second right now already, and they don't even have it sorted out yet. Like, they're like, oh, well, Rick, did you know that your You nearly broke the record with that pass.
Rick's driving it.
No, what is his guy's name over there at in
Sims, a boy or anything.
Bowling Green? What's his name? I can't remember his name, but
Jesse Coulter.
Jesse Coulter.
Jesse Coulter. Yeah.
Jesse
I
Coulter.
know him good too. Yeah.
He's going to set the world record in
So he's
that
driving
car.
the car.
Oh yeah, it's
Jesse.
on small tires.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the real freaking deal. That thing is
Jesse's
crazy.
another OG.
His other car,
a
yeah,
hustler.
Jesse's a bad dude,
Yeah.
son. And Rick's other car is Lutz drives it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the yellow GTO.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Rick owns that. That's
Didn't know
that's
that.
Rick's car.
Didn't know that.
I
That's
seen
awesome.
I seen that car the other day when I was over in Bowling Green.
They make some pretty wheels, don't they?
God, they do. They make.
I've had them on a few of
I'm
my
telling
cars.
you what, some billet aluminum, all from the United States. Everything there's from the United States because
100%.
Rick Ball picks it out, and
Yeah.
he likes to do business in the United States.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But anyway, going back to, so we're getting ready to open Race Proven Performance Center.
Yep.
Is
Well,
that-
we're moving locations. I built a shop in my house. It was 50 by 64. So I told myself, and I'll
Yeah,
tell you
that's
guys too, if you're building a shop, my opinion, if it's going to be a working shop and you're going to have two doors, one in, one out, at least make it 50 wide. If you're going to put
Yeah.
lifts in there, because I worked in a couple shops that were 40 wide and less,
Mm-hmm.
and I said 50 wide will give you another 10 foot where you could, if you need to work on your dually truck, you can pull that sucker in. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
if you're building a shop, build it 50 wide. If it's on
50 wide.
50 wide is the number because it makes stuff so much easier. So I put my lifts in there at an angle and had a through door where I could drive in and out, pull my race car, truck, and trailer
yeah.
all in and still work on customer cars. It worked beautiful.
Yep.
So I was like, man, this is a shop. And before you knew it, dude, I was working at BTR. We had 10, 15 cars at the shop at all times, and we were turning out 3, 4, 5 a week. So we were moving them.
You had the shop and worked at Brian Tilley Racing.
At the house. And
Oh, okay. That's at the old shop, at the house shop.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we kind of outgrew it, and trying to think here. So when we had our second girl, then we found out we were having twins, and we were going for 3. We were like 3 kids. That's cool.
3 kids good.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what?
God
God
surprised
said, "Watch this. You're doing a good job.
Watch this.
You're doing extra good. I'm
So
gonna throw another."
not only did he give me 2 more kids, he gave me 2 more girls. So we have 4 girls now, and I'm like, what did I do?
You gotta have at least 2 tomboys.
Oh my gosh. So I kind of, honestly, I got kind of, the shop slammed. I know I need more time at home to help because Amanda's working full time too.
Oh yeah,
She's working at the school, I think, at this point. So I'm like, man, I need more time at home.
yeah.
And the shop's doing good. I think I can make it work. I don't want to leave Brian's, but the drive kind of stinks. And
Oh yeah.
I'm not built for driving that far every day. And love my job. But,
You sleep on the way to work and
yeah.
sleep on
I
the
mean,
way home.
If you can work for yourself, that's always, if
Right.
the kids need attention in the morning, I can work later at night. I can move my schedule around. Don't have to be there
Yep.
whenever the bell rings. And
Oh yeah.
I can do my thing. And so I told Brian, man, I think I'm gonna have to leave. Like it's getting ready to get rough around the house having
Yeah.
4 kids. And
Oh yeah.
he's
I'm sure he understood.
Yeah, I get it. Whatever. And he was always supported me in RPP as far as he would send me a little work here and there, and he was very fair.
Yeah.
And so went home, worked for that, did it for a while, and then in the middle of that, me and Casey Horde. I don't know if you know Casey Horde or not, but me and him got into a business opportunity. He wanted to call it Supercharger Outlet. So we rocked that name for a little bit and sold superchargers. Done pretty good and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was driving 2 hours each way
Oh
to come to
God.
my shop. And it honestly, just kind of didn't work out.
That's hard.
Did it about a year, made a little money. It was like, yeah, it ain't really, he wanted to do his thing, I want to do mine. So
Yeah.
kind of RPP was kind of non-existent there for a minute.
Yeah.
And then we went back to that, and I said, boys, we're going to buy this shop down the road.
The one I went to the other day.
Yeah, we're going to buy this shop
I
down
love
the road.
that place, dude.
Yep.
It's perfect.
And it's on 23 acres, and it's zoned industrial. We can do anything we want.
Yeah.
We try to be nice to our neighbors, but neighbors aren't very
Right.
close down there. So
Right. Yeah. I thought,
Yeah.
man, it's wide open.
Yeah, so we got our
We come
90.
down here and do burnouts. We
Yeah,
drift around.
yeah.
Hit a tractor or whatever. You know.
But yeah, so we got that, and I guess we've had that shop for 5-6 years now, but
It's awesome.
it's good.
I was very
investment.
impressed. I was very impressed with
You know, we're still working on it, trying to get the way we want.
you boys you got working for you. They seemed real. I mean, they were real nice.
Good
I
boys.
know that they seemed like they know what they're doing too. They all
Yeah.
had a shop rag in their back pocket and leaning over a fender cover. And I was like, well, but
At least
being
you
an
got
old
fender cover.
service manager, I'm thinking, boy, does good there. He covered that fender.
Yeah.
Look at there. He's got a rag in his pocket.
And that's number one, dude. I tell them boys, I'm like, whether it's a wore out 4th Gen F body or it's a brand new C8, like fender covers,
Or 07
treat it.
GMC.
because a fat person walks in and they, you know, they want their stuff taken care of. They
Oh,
work
yeah.
hard. I mean, I worked hard for my 95 Trans Am.
Oh, yeah.
When I was young, I wanted that sucker covered up and taken care of, just like they did.
Yeah. You know what's even worse? Working hard right now at my age for an 88 S10.
Well, when you got millions in the bank and you can buy something, that's different.
I don't believe
Brad.
in banks. My bank people down there at the bank, they think, well, this guy's busted.
That farm you was talking about, you're probably getting ready to buy it in cash.
I wish if I could, I'd buy it right now. Y'all
Yeah.
be seeing me remote from the
Yeah,
bush.
we'll be shooting stuff in their next video. Out,
That's right.
out off the back.
That's right.
Yeah.
But no, that's shoot, yeah. So you got that new building, oh man. No, I went down there the other day. The front end looks really cool. You walk in, it's like, I'm like, what do they manufacture here? And it's like speed. I was
Speed.
like, heck yeah. So y'all do cams, anything basically, right?
Pretty much.
You
If
do
it's an
pretty much
LS engine or newer, we're pretty much doing it. We're
Right.
trying to phase out of the C5s and the stuff that's getting a little older because
Yeah,
honestly, it almost turns into.
nightmare.
There's some nice C5s out there. Don't get me wrong, but
It's my favorite vet.
a lot of them are getting so old now that you tear up more, taking
Yeah.
them apart. You know, lines are
Oh,
breaking,
yeah.
hoses breaking, stuff's old, clamps leak. Just
Mm.
man, the wiring's not what it used to be. There's
Oh.
wiring pinched. They've
I
been
got you.
wrecked. They've had wiring cut. I mean, just
I
you know, so me and Cora are like pulling our hair out sometimes. We'll have 40 hours in the car we get paid 20 for, and it
Right.
don't make money.
Yeah, and
You
you're like,
know.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, when I was a Harley shop guy there,
Probably
we-
the same deal, right? Old
yeah,
ones kick your butt.
10 years or older, nah, we don't work on case by case thing because I'm a good guy.
There's a few show bikes
I'm a
out there. It's
service
real nice.
manager. You show up with a nice Evo that's 28 years old, whatever. I'm like, man, that thing's pristine. We ain't gonna hurt it. Bring it on in. Just don't scratch it.
Yeah,
You know.
100%.
And I get it.
It's the
I
same way,
totally
you
get
know.
it. Stuff gets obsolete.
Yep.
And but that don't deter my want for a nice C506.
Oh man,
That's all I
one of
ever
the prettiest
want.
cars made.
I love that car.
You got a
That's
good
my
body
dream
line.
car.
They're beautiful.
I love the curves. I told Darlene, I said, that's my Darlene car. I said, so, because it's
For
like,
years, Brad's always
it's
been
curvy.
black on black C506.
Yeah,
It's
they're
that
pretty.
car.
love
Looks like death coming down the road, don't
it.
it?
It does. It looks like, I mean, murdered out windshield, everything,
Yes.
all black, every window.
I always like the electron blue ones.
Yeah.
The blue color.
Yeah, that's a good
And
color.
the what was the white color? The Speedway white.
Yeah.
They were rare.
Make about anything but yellow.
Yeah.
I can't do the yellow.
I can't either.
I'm like, man,
I'm not a
I'd
big
have
fan
to
of
get
red.
it. What's the shoes them boys wear when they go to the
New
meets?
Balances.
New Balance. If I had a yellow one, I'd get some New Balance.
Have to. It's cut off.
But I
forks.
mean, I don't like yellow.
The
I
high
like
point
New
socks.
Balance. So I still wear my cowboy boots in my black car,
Yeah.
red car, my white
Yeah.
car. It's or my blue car. I like red better because I like them red waves.
Everybody waves red.
Yeah. Hi. Seeing. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah. I got a friend that paints old cars and he calls it retail red.
Retail
Paints them
red.
and sells them. He said,
I
"Man,
got
paint it
resale
retail
red.
Resale.
That's
red.
why
good.
that's why I told my buddy Sonny. He said, "What color we gonna paint that ST?" And I said, "Same color it is, resale red."
Resale red. I like it.
But I won't never sell it because
Yeah.
if I did, I'd lose $20,000.
Yeah.
When I sold for Chevrolet, they called silver rental car silver.
Rental car silver.
Rental car
And
silver.
everybody knew what it was. It's a
Yep, they
rental
don't
car.
show no scratches.
That's
Don't
true,
have
though,
to
ain't
wash
That's
it.
why I bought a silver truck.
That's exactly right. I had a silver Camaro,
That's a nice silver truck, though. That one's on a
12 model.
It's just a nice payment.
And Chase, tell him about riding in my 12 model Super Sport Camaro.
Well,
Bought this car back in the day.
first time I ever caught air in a car. That's for sure. On a pretty bad back road.
Me and Chase was out cruising one day, and I was like, I'm gonna run to my house here and get a few things. You'll go with me, Chase? Yeah, I picked him up from school, I think. And then he's like, yeah.
High
So
school.
Yeah,
No,
no,
middle
he,
school.
no, he was in middle school, I think. Yeah, he was, yeah, it was fresh. I mean, and I just got with
Brand new
Darlene.
car?
We were just dating. Me and
Brand new
Darlene
car?
was. Yeah, brand new car, 12 mile.
Is that what it took to get Darlene?
Yeah, she wouldn't talk to me when I was in a Hummer. She said them
You had a
Hummers.
Hummer?
Yeah.
Lord.
Buddy, I've had 22,000 vehicles.
Yeah, I believe it.
There for a
Driving
long
around
time,
through-
you had a different one
I
every month.
quit. I quit doing that in the last. I realigned myself to where I'm thinking of the future for now.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
I'll get stupid again, I'm sure, but I've spent. I know I've spent millions of dollars. I guarantee you, well over $1 million on vehicles, bikes, and all that stuff. And it's like,
Bikes ain't cheap, dude.
man,
You're
I
right.
worked so hard, and it's all gone.
Yeah.
So I kind of shifted gears, and I'm gonna work real hard another 10 years. You'll never see me again after 10 years. Well, if I'm still alive. And but
Can't kill you.
huh?
They can't kill you.
Oh, they can. They try. But I mean, no. I got to where I want to do that. Take it easy. Own some land
Yes.
and kick it back. But I've got 10 more years of hustle. So for all you young kids,
Hustle early.
I'm probably a good 25 years into hustle. And I'd say you're a good 20 years into hustle. It takes a while to hustle. It takes a good while to hustle. I don't think I'll ever
Sometimes you
quit
have dry
hustling.
spells of hustling where you're like, I'm tired of this.
It's
crap.
hard. Yeah.
I have to chill out
yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah, I agree
Especially
with
when
you.
kids are involved.
Kids, family,
Things going
Wife.
on.
wife. I mean, does
Wife.
does Amanda ever say,
Wife.
do you ever want to pay attention to me for a minute?
Yeah.
I get that.
She does. For about 2 days, and then she's like, ain't you got something to do?
Right. Get out of my face.
Getting
I'm
ready to have a
watching
grandkid
Lifetime.
now to take care of.
Yeah.
I'm watching Lifetime.
You watch it like that.
She says, get
I
out of
draw the line.
here. Yeah, that's where I draw it too.
I'm watching Bigfoot.
He's out there.
I guarantee it.
He's out there.
Bigfoot expedition. They made a believer out of me.
I believe it.
They went to Kentucky over here.
Did it?
They was in Harlan for 17 days. Till they went to this one old boy's house, and he said, "You mean you got people in that cave behind my house?" And they said, "Yeah." He said, "I wouldn't go in there, love nor money, and I've lived here my entire life." And they're cut. We're going to Washington State.
Is that
I
right?
wonder what they found in that cave.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you have
what
to
happened.
text that to me. I wanna
First
see it.
season.
You have to text it. My mom's a big footer.
Oh yeah, I guarantee she's watched
Probably.
Expedition Bigfoot. It's the best one.
How do we go from Brian Tilley to Bigfoot?
I don't know. Brian Tooley might be.
I love
back.
these podcasts.
Well, that's how
Long time
it
listener, first time caller.
works. Yeah, yeah. It's there's what you call it. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Bigfoot, S10.
Oh, Bigfoot S10. That would be awesome.
That
Jacked
was a Ford.
up.
That was a Ford.
That was a Ford. Yeah. I don't like Bigfoot. Speaking of Ford, what about that Ford tractor of yours?
That was Dad's.
I know.
Yep.
That thing looked. You
Man,
made that look brand
it was-
spanking new.
It was so wild because I was in the middle of like hardcore racing, and I was like, man, I want to do something cool for Dad. Farming's not easy, dude. Like, and he ain't had the best health, and like, didn't feel good the last few years. And I'm like, man, I want to do something for Dad.
Yeah.
I guess old Ford tractor's been through it, man. I've been driving since I was 14.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, this poor thing, it needs a refresh. So I got it in, cleaned it up, and painted it and decaled it up, and had our local decal guy actually make graphics that didn't exist anymore.
Wow.
For it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm like, hey, make it. I was sending him a picture. Make it look like this. He's like, okay, I can do that, and he did. He done perfect. And Little Jack sign and graphics, free advertising.
Little Jack.
Little Jack. But no, and he done it all, and we presented to Dad, and he was so happy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I bet.
And then he was like, don't scratch my tractor. Don't do it.
You look just like.
So,
That's awesome. I loved it. When you showed the old pictures of your dad.
Yeah.
You know, when he was about your age or something like that. I was like, man, that's Jared.
Yeah. He taught me so much, man. It's funny because I'm telling you right now, like, you don't realize how much time you wished you answer that phone call every time. Answer, like you don't know, man. You never know. So that's.
Hey, look, Tony, my stepdad passed away when he was 51, 52. State trooper, 30 years, Kentucky State Police.
Man.
From Bardstown. He moved down there, when I was 4. Moved to Clay County, married mom.
Years.
Yeah, and the man worked his entire life as a state trooper, putting up with all these domestics and this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Crazy
and all this
people.
stuff. Putting up with everybody else's problems. And then he was sergeant, and then he went up, he didn't have to do a whole lot of that road stuff anymore. But anyway, I watched the man just go through it, and I'm thinking, you know what, it wouldn't have hurt me a bit. When he called and said, what you doing? I'm like, not much. We go down here to the shop, when I had my shop. Do you need help? To this day, I wish I'd have said, yeah, I need help. Come on down here, man, and help me figure this out. And I knew what I needed to do, but I wished I would have took the time to sit and watch him.
Didn't want to bother him.
And I didn't want to bother him, and I didn't want to be bothered. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But, you're just like, man, I don't want that. Or, I don't want to be. No, I'm doing my thing. But looking back, like you said, you wish you'd answered that phone.
100%. Like, if you got parents still living, anybody you care about still living, take the time.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. And
Absolutely,
you're not saying I didn't talk to Dad a lot, because I did.
Right.
Of course, there's a few times you get busy, like, man, I'll call him back 5 minutes. Then you forget. And then the day's over. And then you're like, man, you think about this stuff.
Crap.
You're like,
yeah. I feel bad. Then you got to do the sympathy call.
I mean, because at the end of the day, money don't matter.
Right.
Like, it's all about family, you know, and the people you care about. Your friends. I got friends that, mean more than family sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
Anybody you care about.
Yeah, friends. A lot of friends are family.
Take the time. Brad Hacker calls me 3 a.m. I'm gonna tell Amanda, hey, settle down. I got to take
If I
this.
call you at 3 o'clock in the morning, you better answer.
I will, because that's not likely.
Because it's probably something about you. I mean, because I ain't gonna call you for help. You too far away.
Yeah, I'm telling Amanda, pause that lifetime.
That's right. Yeah.
Brad's calling.
I'm probably just like, man, I'm looking at your doorbell camera right now. Don't ask no questions about that, but you need to get up. Oh, shoot. So we got, getting back on track, we got race proven performance, been at BTR, setting world records and all that. You got a cattle farm, C6 Farm?
Yeah.
You've had that for a while.
So about the time we...
Is that Audrey's or is that you?
It's both. So,
okay.
So when we bought our house to build the shop on, it had 10 acres. It was zoned agricultural. You have to have 10 acres in Mercer County to be a farm.
Yeah.
It was 10.03. So we got the farm exempt stuff. I rode off my work boots. I rode off my truck. I rode off everything. Had like 2 calves out back.
Nice.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Big time.
I paid enough over the years. I'm going to work the system.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
You can lose on a farm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing illegal.
You will lose on a farm.
100%. And so, like, we're getting into it a little bit, and Dad sold me a few calves. And I actually got about 5 of the cows that he sold me that were good cows, and still got them right now. And
really?
We've kind of built on that herd a little bit. Kind of, kept a heifer here and there, and we've got probably 20 now.
Heck yeah.
Of his cows. And
keeping that bloodline.
They'll stay there. You know what I mean? They're just good old black cows, nothing super special, but they mean something.
They're in the family.
Yeah. So we got them. Then we got in the Longhorns, and I really love looking at longhorns and
I do
working with
too.
them. I think they're cool. They're not for everybody, but I like them.
I get a kick out of it every time you
Yeah.
post them.
Yeah. Like I enjoy them, because they're different. And everybody asks about them. Everybody wants to know all about them. How do you work them?
yeah.
How do you do this? Why do you have them? I'm like, why do people sell, registered racehorses?
Yeah,
Like,
they
why do
just
people
do.
sell registered dogs for big money? Like,
Right.
there's a market for them. People
Oh, yeah.
want to see that stuff in their pasture, and they pay big money for it just to say, hey, I've got the
I got a
Denali
Texas
of
Longhorn.
cows, or the
Yeah.
King Ranch Limited of
Yeah.
cows. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
I got a limousine.
man, it's crazy.
You
It's
know.
a crazy world. I mean, there's some of this Longhorn stuff brings stupid money, and it's
Oh,
like me
yeah.
and Amanda were like, we're gonna take a stab at it. It's kind of like racing.
Yeah.
Like you might have a good day and hit the
Yeah.
lottery and have a good cow or good whatever, and she brings good money and it's cool. But mainly we just like looking at them.
Yeah.
You know.
Wait a minute. If you want to get into looks, cows, why ain't you got some of them little curly headed ones? It looks like
do.
the 16-year-old boys
I
right
just bought
now.
one. A Highland. That's
A
what they call
Highland,
it.
that's
Yeah.
it. It's like a 16-year-old boy.
We went and we sold 5 Longhorns. 5 Longhorns there.
Oh, you getting into Highlands, then you
We
gonna
bought
be
a
in-
Highland. A little Highland bull, and we're going to breed him to a white park cow, and that makes a high park. And
High Park.
they're the ones you've probably seen on Google that have they're white and they have black ears and black nose, and they're just cute as ever.
Oh yeah.
And they bring huge money.
And now all the girls want to cuddle.
Yeah, they do. So we're going to try that, So
Well,
we still
good.
got a few Longhorns.
We sell them things for like $4-5 grand or
I've heard they
more.
bring 6 or more.
Really?
So
You said
I'm
they
all
bring
about
6 or
Yeah,
more.
I'm all about it.
Heck yeah.
We bought our little bull there for $600 and something bucks, and I
Yeah.
think we stole him. And then we're gonna get some, try
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We're gonna try that.
Yeah, you can't get that bull for no more.
One-
than that. You can't get a bull for that $400 no more.
No.
Son.
One thing Brian Tooley told me that always stuck in my head. He said, "If you throw enough stuff at the wall,
It'll
something will stick.
Yeah.
Something will stick." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I think I'm a firm believer in that. Like,
Oh yeah.
everybody needs to try several things and figure
Yep.
out what they like best.
Yeah.
You know?
Shoot, yeah.
In my time when I was 18, I wanted to race all day, every day, all
yeah.
night. I mean, just ate up. And now I'm like, see my little girl, and I'm like, gotta raise her right.
I gotta be
And
here
like,
tomorrow.
She loves cows, and I'm like, I guess I love cows.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm back on the wagon. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm back. And well, another thing too was when Dad passed, I had to help Mama. She had
Yeah.
150 acres to take care of, and I had probably 50 or 60 at the time, and so I bought some equipment and a little more equipment. And then was like, hey, if I got this hay baler, I'm gonna try to make a bunch of hay and make money there. So I'm trying to make
Yeah.
money baling hay, keep the hay for cows, make money on the cows, and it's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's a circle of
Yeah.
hope you can do better this year.
That's it.
So, but mom, mom still really changed my outlook because I'm like, man, I didn't get a lot of time with Dad, and like I enjoy doing this stuff now. I'm at the age where I'm like, man, that's growing fast is awesome. That's cool, and I love to see my boys do it, and all them guys out there deserve every bit of it. But
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I would rather invest my money in land and stuff that I can give to my kids down the road.
But you got money because you hustle.
Well, I got some debt. I've got
Well.
some cool stuff, but
That's why you go. Hey, sometimes
you
you
gotta keep
got
going.
you got just got to
You
hustle.
got to keep going, and that's it's like it's hard to draw the line between family and work, and
Oh, it is.
sometimes I work too much, and man, it's like kids ain't seen you in a week. I'm like, you're right, so I'll take a day and just chill and try to take Kaylee. Kaylee wakes me up every Saturday
Yeah.
morning. She's like, what are we doing today? She does, man. It's
Yeah.
so funny,
She's
and
like-
I'm telling you, we'll go out there and we'll get cows up, and she's
Yeah.
totally cool with it because she
That's
spent
awesome.
time with me. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's awesome for
Oh,
me.
we're all guilty of that.
Yeah.
It's like but you gotta call me around.
Yeah.
You gotta call me around like I call them cows around.
Yeah.
You gotta holler at me to make me stop
Yep.
and say, "Yo, we gotta do something." And
Yeah.
I Darlene does me that way. She won't call me around.
Yeah.
And I'll get in that zone for weeks and weeks. I'll get up at the same time, I'll eat the same time, I'll eat the same thing, but I work. Boom, 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 boom. I'm cranking it out. Darlene will have to come to me sometimes and she'll be like,
She fully.
"You've been cranking long enough. Mama needs to go somewhere."
Is she fully clothed?
Yeah, when she's laid it down like that, she usually is. So I'm like, man, and I'm guilty. I'll lay out there all night, all day. I'll do it. But you got to draw the line. It's hard.
Yep,
It's hard line
it
to
is. You
draw.
gotta-
Hard line to draw.
Dive in and bring it back.
Yep. I mean, Chase can tell you, like, I don't take a lot of time to do a lot of stuff. He's like, bro, let's go to the car shopping. Nah, I'm working.
I try.
Nah,
That's about all I can do.
gotta work, son.
But
But anyway.
you're wanting about that land, and that would be awesome. You was telling me about that.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
And I usually make dreams
How
come
many
true.
acres was it?
159.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
And I know every inch of it.
yeah, that's awesome.
I know wherever dip, pothole.
Yeah,
I know everything about it.
yeah.
Be 150 acres Rusty could run on.
Yep.
Well, we got Rusty. What's that? That's what I named my
Little,
island.
little Russell. Russell, I call him Rusty.
Oh,
My grandson.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's
He's on the way
my
or
guy.
here?
Oh,
He's on the way.
He's due January.
January.
Yeah, January
First
19th.
Congratulations.
Yeah, middle of January.
That's awesome. I wouldn't know how
That's-
to raise a boy, so don't call me.
Well,
Everybody says it's easier than a girl.
yeah, just go out there and point it that way. That's how you do it.
Point it there.
Point it that way. And you can slap them in the head. A boy. You gotta be easy with a girl. You
Yeah.
can slap a boy,
Right.
man. Like, hey, boy.
Yeah.
Straighten up.
Yeah.
You talk to them like you talk to your male bulldog. He's like that.
100%.
They'll get it.
Oh,
They'll hear it 100%.
Yeah.
But now, so you got race proven performance going good and all that stuff. You're still farming, with helping mom out and
So
whatnot.
when I started, I enjoy farming so much that when I farmed back in the day, Dad told me what to do. I had to do all the hardest stuff, and it wasn't enjoyable because I wanted to do it. I would say it wasn't enjoyable. Looking back, it was great,
Right.
but at the time, I'm like, man, this sucks out here. And my dad told me one time
That sucks, doesn't it?
it was 187 degrees, and I'm on a hillside. We couldn't afford flatland, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm on a hillside beating a steeple in a post or a nail or whatever. Dad, he leaned down there, he looked, he said, he called me jerk. Jerk! He said, directions say hit the nail on the head. I wanted to whoop him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sweat dripping off my nose, ears, just pouring.
Like, oh man, I don't want to hear it.
Crack up. So I can't wait to tell Kaylee that when she gets older.
Yeah.
So I got to pass that on. But that was one of the funniest.
Yeah, man.
So funny.
That's awesome. So then you do all that, and you come around, you're getting Highland cows now. Then
Got
now
one.
you got
Try it
one.
out.
You try that.
I do think they're cool looking. Everybody likes them, don't they?
yeah.
You see them
Oh,
all over
yeah.
Facebook. And,
I see
"I
people
want
going
one,
to-
blah, blah, blah.
I see girls on their husband. Now, buddies of mine, their wives is like, we're going to Alabama today. We're getting a Highland cow. I'm like, God.
Ironically, I want to mention them because they're great people. And if you need something cool like that, they've always got Highland cows. They've got really cool stuff. They got a kangaroo.
Wow.
They've got everything. And their name is none other than All Hustle Farms.
All
So,
Hustle Farms.
They've got their gooseneck trailer wrapped as All Hustle Farms. Super
That's
cool.
awesome.
But they're hustlers. Like she knows the cow breed really well. And Ron Neal's his name. I used to race with him.
Oh, yeah.
Funny. So Ron always had a bunch of fast bikes and had a bunch of cool stuff. Me and him kind of always knew each other. But
Yeah, man.
now we're knee deep in the farming.
Yeah.
And they're doing good at it, man. They'll buy these little calves and cows and breed them and sell them.
Yeah.
And they know their stuff. Like,
That's
it's really cool.
awesome.
But All Hustle Farms, I was like, that's a cool name.
All Hustle Farms.
I got one of their shirts, but I grew too big.
Look them up. You want a Highland cow? Get you an All Hustle Farm
All
cow.
Hustle Farms. But they hustle.
That's right. That's
Like-
what we like people to hustle.
Yeah, they do. No matter what you do.
Shoot, yeah.
So,
So speaking of hustle, we got C6 land clearing. C6 land clearing. I tell you what, I seen them things on there. I seen you bought the little one.
yeah.
Did you buy a second one, the big one?
Yeah.
It's like, God almighty.
Yeah.
That thing's bigger than a
Scary.
house.
It's scary.
It is
That
scary.
stuff's not cheap.
That ain't cheap. I priced them.
Yeah. But
Not
it's looking good.
not like, I wasn't like, I'm going to run buy one. I was just like, I wonder how much it would cost. That's how I price things.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. But a friend of mine, Brian Parker,
Yeah.
being in land management, he's the one that got me on there. He's like, man, skid steer's cool. He said, I only get you so far. And he said, they're almost throwaways when you mulch with them full time. And I can see that. Like, they take so much abuse.
Oh, yeah.
They're good for, and I bought that skid steer, and I said, man, I already know. Like, I'm not stupid.
You
I ain't
can
been in
feel
this
it.
gig, but I know that thing ain't going to last.
Yeah.
When you're
You can
treating them
feel
like that, you're just,
Yeah.
you turn them wide open. You put them in the trees all day.
Yeah.
When it's hot out, they get the heck run out of them. You're running
Melting
over
them
sticks,
down.
logs, you're tearing up tracks, your trees falling on them. It's
Yeah.
rough on them. And Brian's like, man, you need to get you a dedicated machine. That's what they call anything with. That's all it does. It's
Yeah.
not a skid steer. It's a track machine
Right.
that does nothing but mulch. And
Yeah.
dude, they've got big coolers, big radiators. They're built for this stuff. They're like
Yeah.
tanks.
Oh,
And he's right. Like the thing's awesome.
Is it a case? Did you get a case?
My little one's Case New Holland. Well, it's a New Holland, but
Yeah.
Case New Holland's the same exact
Right.
machine. And I've done a lot of research on them. And one reason I went with the Case New Holland was they don't have a DPF on them. They just have a SCR, which runs a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Your DPF filter is what gets so hot and what causes a lot of fires.
I got you.
And it's been a good machine. I like it.
I
I'm
want a
tickled.
fire.
I'm tickled. No, I'm tickled with it. Like, it's been good.
That's awesome.
I'm a John Deere fan. Like, I like John Deere stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm gonna try. This is a little cheaper, and I
Yeah.
found out, and I hadn't heard anything bad about them. And I'm like, try it out. It's good. But no, Brian, he's like, man, you need to try this. And dude, when I got a hold of that thing, I'm like, now it did take me a while to learn to run it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, months to learn to run it good.
Yeah.
And because it's just a whole different world.
Oh, yeah.
It's like driving a pickup truck to a semi truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't know where this is at, and you get used to it. And
Right.
You learn, hey, my back end's here, my front end's here, my head's this high off the ground. It's a whole different world than skid steer. But
So obviously you're staying busy with it. You got
yeah,
a couple machines
it's
going.
progressed. It's progressed. When we first got it, we had some freaking issues with the dev header and some emissions crap, man.
Yeah.
It's a 22 model, so it's got everything on it that a pickup truck has.
Oh, yeah.
So we were down for a few weeks with it. And,
You're in there deleting stuff.
No,
Just
never.
kidding. Never. Can't do that.
It was under warranty, so
we
I
like
fix
the
it.
EPA.
We
Stay on
love
their
them.
good side.
Just love them.
Just like Josh, he tunes them. Josh the Farmer, he tunes big trucks.
Yeah, 100%
To EPA standards,
100% emissions intact,
just to keep you in standard with the EPA
and the government.
and the government, all that good stuff.
But
That's all my guys. My hustlers keep you legal.
yeah, we ain't doing nothing.
That's right.
No,
we
not a
want
bit.
you. We want
Not a
to.
bit.
We're just out here making everybody abide
Yeah.
by the law.
The odd machine's cool, and Brian has machines that make that thing look like a baby.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's got some badass stuff.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was telling me about a feller buncher he was buying. You know what that is? It's like now I'm learning this stuff too, but it's what goes in. You've seen them before, but they go in and nip the tree off at the bottom and they hold it.
Yeah.
They'll set them to the side. Go to
Oh,
the next
yeah.
cut it, set it to the side, and keep
Yeah.
going. And so that way, if you're cutting logs that are good and you want to
Yeah.
keep,
Right.
you got the good stuff there. You're not mulching all up. It's
Right.
you sell the logs, cut it off the stump.
Yeah, man.
Then you bring your mulcher in after that and you smooth it out.
So you got, it's crazy, man. You got C6 Land Clearing, you got Race Proven Performance, you got C6 Farms. Now you're getting into the pretty cows, making the daughters happy. You're a husband, full time husband, Amanda, and a full time daddy to all four of you girls.
Yeah.
And you got to look after mom. You know, your mom's man.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
and you gotta, God.
Yeah,
We-
my mama means the world, man. She's. I mean, I could call her at 4 a.m. She is there.
Guaranteed.
Like, she is the pinnacle of, moms. Like,
Ain't it awesome?
oh, dude.
No,
Super
oh, yeah.
blessed.
That's awesome.
But so I knew what to expect out of a mother, like growing up, like, and Amanda is extremely good mother. She is
yeah.
probably harder on our kids than my mom. My mom's a big softie.
Yeah.
And Amanda she'll get with them. You know what I mean? She's like, hey, you straighten your butt up.
Oh, you need that.
Yeah, and it ain't bad,
That's good.
You know, but
You get to play the good guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
fun
man,
time, Daddy.
Daddy would have done that. I don't know what she's doing there. Come on, let's go play some Nintendo or something.
Yeah, she needs to take lessons from Dad.
No, but she's good, man. And without Amanda, I mean, I couldn't do any of this stuff. I mean, sometimes I used to stay at the shop till, when I worked for Brian, man, I stayed at the shop till 12, 1 o'clock at night. We had the shop at our house, and I'd get up, do it all over again. And, but honestly, we were making good money. We were doing good. It made me feel good, and Amanda didn't complain a bit.
Yeah.
Did not complain one bit. Now, sometimes we, hey, can you spend some time with us tonight? Absolutely, babe.
Right.
Tomorrow, we're good.
I'm yours.
Yeah, and you do. I mean, that's something every guy should keep in mind. As
I'm trying to get better at that.
You got to ride that line.
I'm trying to get better.
Yeah, but no, without Amanda, I couldn't watch 4 kids.
Oh yeah.
No way. So she's the reason I can do, what I've done and continue to keep growing this with her. So that's number one. And then of course Corey took over RPP. I mean, he basically does everything but the books. He doesn't do the books, and if there's a wild question or something, he'll call me. But I mean, he does 90% of RPP.
Yeah.
Answers the calls, does quotes, talks to customers when they get there. He puts their cars on the dyno. We're using James Short again tuning, so he sends the files to James. James tunes remotely on probably 90% of our stuff.
Heck yeah.
So Corey eats, sleeps, and breathes, this stuff. And
Corey is race proven performance.
Yep, he knows the stuff, man.
He seems to be like a sharp guy. I was up there the other day, and didn't I powder coat something from him not too long ago?
His
track bars,
Blurple traction bars.
Yeah. Fireball. They were blue, but they come out looking purple to me. And they probably looked real purple to him too.
He sold it anyway. So
I figured he did.
Yeah, he sells everything.
Hey, we all do.
He's about like most men his age. You can't keep him happy, but more than about 3 months.
Oh yeah,
he's out.
Next
vehicle.
right. Chart girls, wait till they're 30-something year old.
Yeah, that's right.
With them.
But no, he's stuck with RPP through thick and thin, and this year's been tough, man. I knew going into this year, election year's gonna be tough.
Oh
for everybody.
Man, it's been tough,
dude. I mean, you get people. The year last year we sent quotes. They didn't ask no questions. They bought it. They showed up. How quick can you get it? Didn't matter what it cost.
Yeah.
This year, well, I got another quote from Jim Bob.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed it this year, 100%.
Yeah.
And a lot of my buddies have done the same. I mean, there's some people that's still killing it, but RPP slowed down a little this year. People are tightening up.
Well, I know one
I don't know
thing.
if you've noticed it with powder coating, but
I have, but I kind of restructured myself ahead of time. So I never did want to go to manufacturing because I thought, man, it's be repetitive. Just do this, blah, blah. I'm doing that, blah, blah, doing that. But I've picked up a couple things that companies and big companies and like RC components right here. I've picked up them.
What was the spinner axe you were doing? Sunglasses.
Yeah, I did.
Oakley, or who was that?
Oakley.
That's
and
awesome.
Ray-Ban, doing some international stuff with them, sending that over to Paris, France, and all that good stuff.
That's awesome.
But, I cut them loose, to make room for RC and Black Label Performance because, made in America, staying in America on American products, it's really hit home for me.
Yep.
And I'm going to push that more than anything, probably from here on out for me.
Yeah.
Personally.
Absolutely.
And it's you got you guys, you work on Corvettes and stuff primarily. You do all kinds of other stuff they're made in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's it's awesome.
That's my favorite part.
Oh yeah,
it's like they're made right down the road. That's
right down the road. RC components, big
right down the
building
road.
right down the road. I love it, man.
Now I don't think I've ever been to RC, but are they close to the Corvette Museum or the Corvette
No.
Factory?
No, it's like
They're in Bowling Green, right?
yeah, Bowling Green. You go down to the
Bowling Green's big.
It is big. It's laid out. It's stretched out. You go. So you got like the Corvette factory. You see her off the interstate.
Correct.
Keep going. Exit 20. You go down to the Natcher, William H. Natcher Parkway. They call it the Natcher. But just one exit down. Take a left. It's right there in the big industrial park. Big old place, man, dude. It'd be worth your while if you're in Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Just to
Go check it out.
Google it up, look it up, and go in there and say,
What?
"Where's Rick Bowles? I want to meet Rick Bowles.
I've met him a few times.
He's
there,
a
man.
good
I guess
dude.
Brian
He'll
bought
take
his
you and
old-
walk y'all around the building.
Yeah,
You know, and he'll
that's
say,
what Brian do too.
"This is where we chrome stuff. You know, like their own in the house chrome.
Do they? That's
Yeah,
cool.
They do it all.
That's awesome.
The only thing they don't do is powder coat,
Send it to you.
and that's me.
That's awesome.
So
So
that's-
he remembered you from when you worked for him. He's like,
Yep.
hey man, I'd like to help Brad out. He's
Oh yeah.
so that tells you
But
something
they'd
about
have
his
it.
character.
They's just having some stuff needing done that most places don't do, and you know, I was able to help them out with that.
Well,
And-
like them dually wheels you done for me. Nobody else does that.
right.
I've had so many people say, yeah, he ain't got no real big wheels on that, but it's something aftermarket. I'm like, no, they're the factory wheels.
Yeah.
Got that Brad Hacker stamp on them.
Shoot, yeah, we gotta make it something look different, you know.
I think it turned out good.
I sure appreciate the business you've given me the last couple,
Yeah, you,
4 or 5 years, man.
What's that first thing you done? My calipers for me on my
Did your calipers,
Corvette?
and I
Yeah.
messed them up first time I tried it, you know. 'Cause you
That's what I
like,
like about you. You're real.
that's right.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
That's right.
He said I messed them up, but I
He's
fixed
like,
them.
man. No, it's candy.
They were so pretty.
You wanted candy.
But when I pulled them out of the
red.
box, I guess it took a little long to dry, and the paper stuck to them or something, right?
No, well, they still had
And I was like, man.
brake fluid draining out
Is
of
that what it was?
it. Yeah. And
Man,
brake
they looked
fluid.
so good, and then it had a few spots in them. You're like, hey man, bring them
Yeah.
back, we'll fix them up.
Brake fluid coming out on anything won't work. But it
Won't work.
I tell you what, since then I've started, you know, I put them in the washer and run them through a long time before I.
Do you?
Yeah.
You still do quite a bit of calipers?
I don't. No, I mean, I every now and then when
They're a pain.
most of the time when I do a big build, I said that and I've got like 5 sets of calipers in there to do right now, but I haven't done any until this week. I'm getting
They're a
ready
pain
to
to
do a
put
lot.
together.
They
Imagine
are.
putting them together.
Oh, I
Because
know.
I'm scared death about, you know, like, oh man, you know,
Oh yeah.
nothing on this or whatever.
Right.
But I seen a guy the other day in a YouTube video. He took a hammer and laid down the middle hammer handle
Yeah.
and took compressed air and pushed all, you know, like mine.
Oh yeah, just blow it out.
Mine
Pop.
are 6 piston front, 4 piston rear. So you got all 6 pistons push in, hit the hammer, but they don't blow out.
Right.
So then you can take and I guess that hammer is just wide enough where you can take and wiggle them out.
Yeah.
And if I ever do a set again, which I don't want to, but that's what I'll do because
Right.
it looked like a neat trick.
I seen your car the other day. There, I can't remember if I seen it sitting up there or if I saw
it
something
dusty?
in your picture you'd put on there or something. But I could see them cameras or them calipers
Man, they
glowing
look
in
good.
there.
I like it. It's a little darker red with more of a metallic, like a or what was it called? Was it
It was a candy red
Candy apple red?
over. It was candy red over like a silver
man?
alien silver base.
sharp.
I think.
They were
They
sharp.
look good. But anyway, I appreciate all the good work you've sent me over the years. And
Yeah, anything needs
We're gonna
powder
do more.
coated, you've never disappointed. That's for sure.
ceramic coat a lot of headers for you.
Man, a lot. People eat that stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
and it works.
Man,
you know?
it's hard to find a good ceramic coat in place.
and I
so
think the
it's-
headers look better when they're black.
I do
Put them
too.
down in there. And new
Black or
plug wires,
silver.
everything's clean. Headers
Yep.
look great when they're ceramic coated.
Yeah, man. And stays cooler.
100%.
I like
Keeps your
this
starter cooler.
Yep.
It keeps everything around the exhaust cooler because Corvettes are known for getting wiring and everything so hot
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's such a small area. Those
Yeah.
headers are wrapped around everything, and if you coat them, it helps.
Yeah. I mean, even
We've
on
seen
my S10, I noticed, you know, daggone, I put my headers on, and I'm like, God, that's going to melt them boots on them spark plugs. You
Didn't-
know, I know it will.
Well,
It looks like it will. So I'm going to ceramic coat them, you
Yeah.
know, when it gets back from paint.
good deal.
And but yeah, I never knew that ceramic. I always knew ceramic coat helped or whatnot, but when I started doing it, I got a customer. He's from up your way somewhere there, and he owns like 5, 6, 7 NASCARs.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not like on the Winston Cup level or whatever it's called now. I mean, I'll go back way back in NASCAR, Winston Cup, Next Tail Series, and all that stuff. But I think it's what 18. I don't even know what it is anymore. Anyway, he's got like ARCA level. You remember the ARCA series?
Yep.
Yeah, he's got like 5 or 7 cars that he owns. But these other companies, the drivers and the teams, they lease his cars.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he does all this stuff. He'll build them and whatnot. So he called me and he said, I need to find out if this works. Do you do ceramic coating? I said, yeah. And he's like, on the exhaust and stuff. So I said, yeah, I do it. And he said, I want to do a full exhaust system for a NASCAR. All right.
Perfect.
Shoot, yeah, bring them on. So I did a full exhaust system for this NASCAR for one of them. So they took them, tested them, whatnot.
Yeah.
That car was, it ran cooler. It, and it cooled off
Quicker.
like 10 times faster.
Yeah.
He's like, we got 2 of them side by side doing the same thing, same setup. You know, these NASCARs have to be the same
proven.
car. He said when we brought that thing in, it ran cooler. We monitored everything, and when we stopped it, it cooled off like that. He said the other one sits there hot, tap, 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 you know.
Tinging.
Yeah, and he said not the one ceramic. He said so. I want them all done. So I did all
That's
this
awesome.
from headers to tip, you know. And he called me the other day, you know. He's like, Brad, need some more stuff done here soon, you know. So it's good. It's a good thing to do. So I like doing that.
And it's
stuff.
relatively inexpensive compared to what everything else costs on a race car.
Exactly.
Or a car you're
Especially if you think
spending
about
money on.
having to buy headers over and over because they get so hot, they crack in the welds. They get so hot and they look all rusty and stuff. You don't want to spend 20
Even
grand on a
stainless
motor.
ones, when you take them off several times, I've seen this taking them on and off my black car, engine swaps and cylinder heads, and they get ugly.
Oh,
You know, when you do them black, they
spend that
as long
kind
as you take pretty good care of them, they look black for a long time.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they look good. So,
But yeah, man. So that's that, ain't it?
that's that.
Chase, you've been so quiet. You can't talk. You get 2 motor mouths like me and him.
He's like Heavy D, but different.
He looks like Heavy D. Look at
it. Yeah.
Hey,
That's old Heavy C.
I'm here to learn the hustle.
That's right. He's here. He's a sponge over here. Oh, sponge Chase. But yeah, we'll talk to you again. Before long.
Sounds
We
good.
get this podcast rolling good.
Yeah, man, I hope the best. I really hope everybody else comes out and just gives their story because I want to hear it.
Oh yeah.
You know, everybody does things different, and I want to hear their way. I mean, I think if you take 10 people that have done something and listen to every one of them,
Yep.
you can say, hey, this is the way I want to go. Or,
There's
or
differences.
I wish I'd have done that.
Yep.
Man, that was smart. You know.
We're all gonna be a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have a
like-
unique story too.
Like,
so.
you know, Josh Renner, like he's done exceptionally well for his business. And it's like, I think it's cool to hear those stories. Like, I never imagined there'd be, that much money in diesel semi part sales and what he does, so.
Imagine how
cool.
many owner operators are there out there.
Yeah. A
You know.
bunch.
So
A
that's,
bunch. So.
that's good. That's a good living,
Absolutely.
brother. Hey,
Thank you.
I'll see you next time,
All right.
and probably before then.
Thanks, dog. Yep.
And we'll talk at you later.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, Brad.
Hey, thank you,
Chase.
Chase. Everybody, C6
Peace.
Race Proof Performance. Win Hustlers Talk. Thanks for watching. Come back and see us. See you. We're done.